It is 6 a.m. Good morning live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios, and happy Friday. I am Justin Hawkins. Tennessee Titans football is back tomorrow night. Titans are off of practice today, and tomorrow night they kick off for preseason game number 1 in Tampa Bay against the Buccaneers at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. You can, of course, hear that right here on 104.5 The Zone, courtesy of Titans Radio, with pregame starting at 5:30. Week 1 of the NFL preseason kicked off last night. Indianapolis Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson left the game in the first quarter after suffering a dislocated pinky finger on his throwing hand after taking a sack. Daniel Jones took over, went 10 for 21 for 144 yards in their 24-16 loss to the Ravens. Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow and wide receiver Jamar Chase, already in midseason form on their 2 drives, played as Burrow completed 9 of 10 passes for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Chase caught 4 balls, 77 yards, and a touchdown in their 34-27 loss to the Eagles. And the Seahawks and Raiders tied 23 apiece in Seattle last night. In other NFL news, Los Angeles Chargers left tackle Rashawn Slater suffered a ruptured patellar tendon in yesterday's practice, and after undergoing multiple tests, it was deemed season-ending, as Slater will need surgery to repair the injury. Slater had just signed a new 4-year, $113 million extension in late July, but will now miss the entire 2025 season. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
A very good Friday morning to you in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. This is Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee. And this, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time of the 20 times we get to say this fall, is game day eve for your Tennessee Titans. Titans and Bucs tomorrow night in Tampa. We've got everything you need to know before the preseason opener begins. We've got a fall scrimmage going on in Knoxville. Brent Hubbs joins us to talk about that at 7:20. Buck Reising is in Tampa Bay. He is going to do some work for us overtime this morning at 8:20. He'll check in from Tampa. Ron Slay at 9:20, as always, on Fridays. Your phone calls at 615-737-1045. On August the 8th, a Friday morning, Ramon Foster, we have been waiting for quite some time. Yeah. Football is back.
Absolutely. That's appropriate on a day like today. We saw a little bit of it last night. Unimpressed, I'll be honest with you, Will. But this hits home for both of us today, man.
It absolutely does.
Absolutely, man. I think we both going to be at the airport at the same time today, too.
We are both headed to the state of Florida to do sidelines for an NFL preseason game tomorrow.
Yes, we are, man.
Look at us.
Look at us, man. Cool stuff, man. But we get an opportunity to see the real thing. We'll talk, I'm sure, about a little bit of Anthony Richardson, just in a sense.
Yes.
What do you want to see when it comes down to Cam Ward and that type of stuff? How is the mental, stability of a quarterback in those situations? How much of the offense? As much as I say, Will, man, the quarterback got to take a hit. Not like that, though. Okay.
Not the way AR did last night.
No, not like that. Not like that at all, man. But you get an opportunity, man. Hopefully you get a chance to see Zeitler along with the rest of the offensive line, too, and seeing how they rocking defensively. I don't care if Todd Bowles said they're not playing their guys up front. They need to dominate. They need to be in a position to show that, look, there's a step taken in the right direction. I got some tidbits, too, I might have to tell you, see if I say it on the airwaves in a little bit, too.
Okay.
I got friends down in Tampa.
Do you?
Got friends down in Tampa.
You got friends in literally a low place.
I do have them in
the state of Florida.
Low hot place.
America's basement.
Yes, exactly. So I'll divulge some of the stuff to you off air and see if we want to bring it on the other side of how they felt about the joint practices.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
Good to know people from time to time.
We'll talk to our people, then we might talk to the city of Nashville's people.
Absolutely. By the way, I got to call my boo thing out, man.
Do you?
So, RJ came back after like 3 weeks from being gone from the house.
You're just crushing it?
Just crushing it. Just doing
playing baseball around the country?
Chasing dreams. You
Absolutely
feel me?
Right.
Chasing dreams, Will. Yesterday she cooked. Like, he got back late, I think on Tuesday. Wednesday was kind of busy day for us. No, Wednesday he got back. So yesterday she decides to cook.
Okay.
He likes Italian food, love Italian food, okay? He's at the age where the kid loves everything, okay? Screw the type of food it is. You know, when you hit that age point, it's like, as much as I can, I will.
You stop being as picky as you were as a little kid.
We've graduated to that part.
Because I was very picky as a kid, and now I will eat everything.
Yes, so that's what we are.
Love it. Man,
I come in from practice yesterday, and I'm like, ooh, it smells awesome in the house. Wife's a really good cook in the beginning. I'll be honest with you, Will.
Really?
It wasn't. She wasn't towing the line.
A lot of Keisha slander happening before 7 a.m. right now. I don't know how I feel about this.
I told her I was
tread
going
lightly,
to. Yes,
sir.
I am. I'm on the line is what I'm telling you, okay?
All right.
But in that, I go outside for it. I'm on 3HL. I'm sitting there talking. Then I sit on the porch and watch some more stuff. And RJ comes, hey, dinner's done. I'm like, okay, Cosby family, what are we doing? Dinner's done. Okay. But I walk in the kitchen and nothing motivates a mom more than her baby being gone from the house. The presentation of the dinner last night was minimum 4-star, okay, presentation. It was laid out in the pans. She cooked the manicotti. Okay?
I'm really struggling to see where the negative comment is. In this.
Let me get here.
I'm waiting on it.
The manicotti was phenomenal, okay? The presentation was, she made this burrata like cheese thing that was baked in the oven. Yeah. With some doggone bread, too, that she made herself. And I was just like, what the heck is going on? The salad looked like something fresh out of like a 5-star Olive Garden is what I'm telling you, okay? Phenomenal presentation. And me and Miles looking at her. We ain't get none of this when it was just me and Miles. That's the negative, Will. We ain't getting none of this whenever it was just me and Miles at the house. We both looked at her like, really? Really, Mom? These are the things that you do whenever. You know what, Will? I'm leaving, okay, for a couple of days. I want to see what my meal looks like on Sunday, man. That's all I'm telling you. But
ordering takeout.
Yes, that's the life we were living.
It's like,
man.
oh, it's tired. Let's just get a pizza.
Will bothered me, and I let her know it too. By the way, RJ did burn the Texas toast, so that is a negative. I was like, that's what you get. You're not perfect in this household.
That's tough.
It was.
That
man.
is tough. You're so brave.
I was, man. So I told her, she's probably asleep. No, she's not. It's school day. So I told her I was going to slander her. Take that.
You're walking straight into the smoke.
I did walk straight, but I gotta leave early today, though, so I ain't got to deal with it.
You don't have to deal with the consequences of disparaging the name of your lovely wife before 6:30 in the morning.
I was jealous. Yes, Frost, I was jealous. Hadn't seen a presentation like that except for like Thanksgiving and Christmas. Mad at her, but it's all good. Manicotti was fire.
Ridiculous.
Though. I am ridiculous.
Should we put your meal of choice into existence that you want to return home to?
Listen, it ain't Father's Day no more. Those wishes are over and done with, okay?
No, come on.
We can do some.
My dream meal
Ron Slay has taught us all as a nation to act more right about Father's Day being more of at least a monthly celebration.
We tried, but here's the thing. My favorite thing is the stuff that I got to cook like a steak.
Well, fair enough.
You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, though. But it was cool to see her treat her baby like she missed him, man.
I love it. RJ's crushed it the whole summer. It's been really fun to watch.
Hey, it's coming along, man. The recruiting side of it as a parent is different.
It's a whole new world.
It's worrisome, is what I'm telling you, man. Just because you want to make sure you did the right things, where you continue to do the right stuff, and you just wait and see. Mm-hmm. And the wait and see is we talked a little bit last night, RJ and I did. It's just like, hey, just be cool, Will.
Yeah,
it'll be there. Just be cool.
It's a long
man.
process.
It is a long process. He's just not going into that junior year, but recruiting is open.
That's where I was lucky in the sport I did at Tennessee, to where in running you kind of reach out to coaches who you want to talk to.
Yeah,
we were kind of weird in that. I mean, our sport's so small that it's hard to just find people out there. There's not as many like camps and things like that where you ID people within our sport. So you kind of reach out to coaches if you're interested in visiting and all those things. And I remember doing that going into my senior year. I hadn't even like really talked to the coaches at Tennessee until my senior year summer. And so it happened quick.
Man,
very quick.
As funny you said
baseball, very different though.
It is. Micah's on the line too, and it's funny. I didn't even tell him this last night, but I was thinking about it. Like my UT offer came like summer going into my senior year.
Yeah,
that's when mine came.
Picks up quick.
The mindset is like, hey, just be calm. There's a lot that has to happen in this moment right here. He's got a crap ton more development to have too. And I thought about thought back to it, Ron and I had this conversation last year. I was just like, yeah, it was the junior year. Some get it early, but it was the junior year going into the senior year.
And that's the way recruiting was for so long. Was like, all right, junior season, you ball out.
Yeah.
And you're going to have an opportunity to talk to a lot of coaches that are going to be leaving letters in your locker or sending them home or coming to bring you out of study hall or something like that. Yeah, that was what you wanted.
It is. Fun stuff, though, but as a parent, just like, did I do the right stuff?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, it's hard to be out of control and things like that.
That part of it, yeah.
Because you feel like you've been able to control so much of an athletic life, and then all of a sudden there's this big part of it that's just, you just got to hope and trust that it's going to all work out. I get it.
Exactly.
Totally.
Yeah. You summarized it perfectly.
Let's get Micah at Nolensville in here to lead off on the phone. What's up, Micah?
What up, Micah?
Hey, thanks for taking my call. So I had a question for you guys with the NIL stuff. So Joey Aguilar, how he's like $1 million NIL contract. I mean, I think he'll be fine, but like if you were to get injured or something, how does it work with like guaranteed NIL? I don't see a lot of stuff anywhere with like how guaranteed NIL and paying players work. Like, does it all have to be guaranteed, or are they able to negotiate like how the NFL does with guaranteed contracts?
For sure.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, Micah. You know the answer to that?
We don't know exactly how the contract details are. Is the first thing I would say. I think some teams give signing bonuses up front, and some, depending on what level of athlete you are, you will get it regardless. But I've also heard as of late, too, some guys are month to month. If you do good, not that you do good, but if you meet all your requirements, you get the check. But for the most part, I do think they get all of it. Like Joey Aguilar's probably going to get all of his. He probably, if it was $1 million NIL, I would expect he probably got like $200,000 to $350,000 up front, and the rest of it is in monthly payments. Is usually how it goes. I do know now, hearing some other guys, I think it was Alabama or LSU players on a podcast, they were also saying like they can get knocked for it too. They have fine systems in place. So if guys miss workouts, if guys don't go to class, if they don't meet certain requirements, there are fines that are now attached to it, somewhat like the NFL and how they go about doing stuff.
I think a lot of that's program by program. And we can ask Brent Hubbs about it at 7:20 this morning, how it works. But from what I understand, I think most of it is guaranteed money. Yeah. But maybe there are some incentives based off of what you can get if you win the Heisman, or if you're a award finalist at your position, or you're an All-American, and all of those things. Yeah. I think it just depends on the school and how much money is to be had at certain programs. Tennessee's kind of been at the forefront of name, image, and likeness since it started a couple of years ago, and I imagine they have got as good of a system for that as anybody does.
Oh, no doubt about it.
From what we've understood. Coming up, Cam Ward, the Tennessee Titans practiced in Tampa against the Bucs yesterday. Jim Wyatt with observations that we will reflect on with you, and some positives. A lot of good things to talk about, including one hilarious thing to talk about that we'll get into. From Titans and Bucs joint practices, leading off the show. Your phone call, 615-737-1045. Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee at 1045 The Zone.
Did you know that up to 50% of the air you breathe in your home, it comes from your crawl space? Have you ever looked inside of your crawl space? I get it. Most of us don't even want to know what's in there, but moisture in your crawl space can create unhealthy issues that can make their way into the air you breathe every day in your home. It's Ramon Foster, and this is where United Structural Systems can help you out. USS has been keeping homes dry and stable in Middle Tennessee since 1994, so you know they aren't going anywhere. Help control moisture and musty smells with mold treatment and crawl space encapsulation that comes with the USS guarantee. Encapsulation helps reduce high humidity in your crawl space. It also helps deter mold and mildew and protects your crawl space from pests and wood rot. Turn your crawl space into a healthy space. Reach out to the company I trust for all foundation repair and waterproofing. It's USS. You can go to their website at USSTN.com. That's USSTN.com, or call them 615-488-7855. United Structural Systems.
Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooter's Coffee, a Friday morning with a preseason game tomorrow for your Tennessee Titans. A joint practice yesterday, we'll recap for you. Ramon Foster, Justin Hawkins, Will Bowling, 615-737-1045. Cam Ward, an impressive day in his first competition against another team, according to TennesseeTitans.com's Jim Wyatt. 5 of 6 out of the gate in the early 7-on-7 drill, with nice completions reportedly to Chimere DK and Elikiah Manor. A sloppier individual one-on-one period with one receiver versus one DB, but again, solid end-of-half 2-minute, featured a great catch by receiver Calvin Ridley. Ramon, it felt like the buzz from Tampa yesterday was that the Titans held their own, maybe perhaps more than what some observers expected, based off of the expectations for Tampa coming into the season and the expectations for the Titans coming into the season. What stood out to you from what you read, from what we heard, and from what yesterday represented the start of joint practices for the 2025 camp?
Man, I think it was the competitiveness that they brought also to Tampa, offensively and defensively. It sounded like the guys up front held their own, too. It seemed like the attitude was matched with what Tampa was presenting. You got to think you're going into their backyard with a bunch of guys that can go get it. Now, the same things that you saw Emeka Buka do, which I think he had a real good – he had some good clips out there. Now, albeit it probably wasn't your CB1 up against him in those moments, but he looked like he cooked. But on the other side, you saw other young guys with the Titans doing the exact same thing. That's mostly of what I saw. Calvin was good on the sideline. And then the best part of all, I thought, was reading and seeing that in situational football and stuff that is real, Will, when it comes down to how football is played, it seems to me that Cam and the offense thrived again in that red zone 2-minute drill era of the portion of the offense, man. So I was glad to see that. And, of course, on the side of, like, hearing seeing Jeff's battle with Cody Mount. But what I will say, something that did not, I think, pop up really high on my radar was hearing if the defensive line for the Titans dominated or had good showings against Tampa Bay's offensive line, too. Other than the Jeff clip, I don't think we got much from that department.
Well, we'll talk with Buck Reising at 8:20 this morning. Everyone that I read, Ramon, admitted they were watching the Titans offense more than the defense.
Of course. That's the big test.
It's the Cam Ward effect. And I don't blame anybody down there for having that reasoning and having that procedure or practice yesterday. Yeah. So hard to get as many notes about the defense, and understandably so. I would say one guy, though, who clearly had a good day on defense was Xavier Woods.
Yeah.
A couple of interceptions yesterday. The Baker Mayfield-led Bucs got the ball in 2-minute period. Amani Hooker got his hands on the ball for a near pick. And then Woods was in a great spot to make a play on a throw into the end zone, according to Jim Wyatt. In another period, Woods intercepted Mayfield on a ball that was tipped by James Williams.
There it is.
Over the middle. Titans had video of that they put out where James, kind of similar to what Cody Barton did to Cam Ward last week, got his fingertips on a pass over the middle. It fell straight into the arms of the safety. And that was that for the Titans defense. Xavier Woods, a guy who we were talking the other day. We've really not talked about him a lot. No. He's someone I want to ask Buck Reising about when he joins us at 8:20 this morning. Xavier Woods has over 120 games of experience. He has led the league in defensive snaps last year. He played more defensive snaps than anyone else in the National Football League last season. 1,152 snaps. He is one of 8 since 2017, Ramon, with 600 tackles, 10 interceptions, and 5 forced fumbles. Darn. The guy has given a level of consistent play across a couple of stops, most recently in Carolina. L'Jarius Sneed's college teammate at Louisiana Tech for one season as well. He's played 8 years in the league going into year 9, and is someone that, again, if we're not talking about you as a member of the secondary, especially at safety, odds are you've been pretty decent. Absolutely. And Xavier Woods is someone I'm interested to watch more of in training camp and preseason, because I think he's starting to put together a couple of really good practices.
Absolutely. I also see that to your point, Will, those types of guys at safety, you're either a liability or you're making plays and just doing your job. So that's huge, man. Like I said, having support on the back end with a guy like with Amani Hooker, and it also somewhat relieves a little bit more when you look at what this defense needs to keep guys in front of them. Again, getting after the quarterback has to be huge. So being guys that are very opportunistic as far as getting the football in their hand and not just letting it hit the ground, that's big on him. Cody Barton, also from Jimmy Wire's write-up, is continuing to do what he's done here in Nashville, Tennessee, and that's always encouraging because Cody Barton knows this Titans defense, I think, well enough to where he can be instinctive to make plays. So to see his instincts still be good on the road against a team that he hadn't really game plan against, the defense, I'm telling you, is going to have to do more leading than it is following what Cam Ward and his offensive wave is this year. So I'm glad to see that was a huge part of yesterday.
A solid day for Cam Ward thanks to rookie pass catchers who were reportedly outstanding yesterday. Alec Manor, the guy who made some headlines, the guy who got social media going, Ramon, because he was breaking ankles in one-on-one period yesterday, and he was kind of the standout, it appeared, from a little bit of a sloppy one-on-one drill.
Which is crazy because this training camp, it was Alec Manor couldn't do the ladder drills.
Exactly, right.
But his footwork was immaculate yesterday, man. Watching him break guys down, there was national attention given to Alec Manor yesterday about what he could be as a rookie this year. And again, some guys are good at practice, but then when you turn on the lights or give them another opponent or put them in a stadium, they turn it up a notch. And it seems to me that he's going to end up being one of those types of guys, man. Out of Stanford, caught a lot of footballs. And one thing that we spoke about with him was his ability to catch the football in very adverse situations, too. The way he contorts his body and get around and reach, and his hand seems to be pretty good. So I'm very interested to see him and Chimray both perform in the stadium tomorrow night.
3 catches for Alec Manor in practice, according to TennesseeTitans.com's Jim Wyatt. But he was not the only rookie who impressed yesterday. Jim Wyatt writes, TennesseeTitans.com, quote, "I thought it was tight end Gunnar Helm's best practice of training camp." Said, "I had Helm with 4 catches," Jim Wyatt says, including several nice ones in the middle of the field. Says he was a real weapon. Chimray DK made some plays, and rookie Xavier Restrepo said, "Looked like he loved being back in Florida, had 4 catches, including a touchdown. He did some talking as well." The thing with Restrepo, Ramon, that I think is significant, he is still buried in the bottom of the depth chart. Again, he's an undrafted rookie. He is a couple of weeks into his first camp. There's nothing abnormal about that. It's the way depth charts work in this league. With a good week, does he have a chance to graduate to the 2s, maybe? Like, could he, with a good performance tomorrow night in Tampa Bay, earn himself a graduation from, respectfully, playing with Tim Boyle to playing with Brandon Allen?
Yeah, he could, because the tape won't lie. One thing coaches cannot do, Will, is lie to themselves about what the tape is showing them in those moments. When they get to those offensive staff meetings, he's in a position, man, to where they got to start talking about him. The conversation about, well, yeah, I know this, but like it'll always be those situations for the coaches that are real. And then it have to be some coach that stands on the table that says you can't deny that guy. Now, the issue is there's 2 other rookies around him, albeit I know Chimray plays more outside, right? If I'm not mistaken. But you look at the positions that.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both, yeah. You look at the positions that Xavier Restrepo is in. Like, he is the undrafted guy. They do got to put more chips into the draft picks that they have. But where do you cut a guy is what you ask the question. Where if he's having a strong enough training camp, I've always seen the NFL do this. You'll get what you deserve in those moments. They cannot deny you that too. And teams that run the risk of bringing you in as an undrafted, investing in you in the entire offseason, teaching you the offense, he's now a weapon. It's the way I view a guy like him. I don't know, Will, if they're going to be able to stash him because of him doing this type of stuff. Like, you look at Mason Kinsey, respectfully, I think Restrepo comes out of college with more fanfare, more knowledge about who he is than any time that Mason Kinsey ever did.
I mean, he's the all-time leading receiver in Miami history.
Yeah.
With respect to what Mason has at Berry College, I mean, it's different. There's a different kind of profile and cachet to what Restrepo is as he begins his career compared to what Kinsey was. It's no disrespect to Kinsey. It's more of a positive for what Restrepo's done.
And reputation sometimes follows you. It's hard. It's going to be hard for them to hide Restrepo at this point or not keep him on the roster. I don't know where they're going to rob another position to keep him on. And also the idea, again, like I said, his ability to play at least teams in his rookie year, Will, has to be a part of his resume too. Has to be.
Right. It was interesting in talking about his role and talking about how he is battling with James Prochet for a roster spot. Buck Reising did tweet out yesterday, if they try anyone but James Prochet, a punt returner, bad things happen.
That's tough. That's tough.
So, honestly, it's kind of interesting the way these things work. Xavier Restrepo's chances of making the roster increase if Chimere Dike wins the punt return battle. Because Chimere Dike is making the team either way. So if DK is your punt returner, if Tajay Spears was your punt returner, if somebody else wins that battle who is already essentially guaranteed a roster spot, that might be the difference in Restrepo making the team or not if Prochet is the punt returner and needs a spot for that.
And I just, to your point, that's what I meant a little bit yesterday by looking at this wide receiver group.
Yeah.
It's so many of them in the same bubble that I feel like because of that, the competition is strong. And with all of them doing separate things really good. I don't know if anybody's running a better route than what Xavier Restrepo has right now, or better hands, or consistency of knowing how to work the middle of the field. But you add that component of special teams into it, Will, or the speed that has to come with playing that position of punt returner, kick returner, it makes it very problematic. Callahan, good luck is what I would tell you and your staff. And the good thing is with Bones Fossil, he has a coach that understands that type of management and what he needs too. That's the other side of it, Will, too, is you have a very sure coach that's a special teams coach that was a former head coach that's been around for a very long time that understands what he wants on his special teams. So I wonder what his input is going to be in that type of decision right there.
I think it's a really interesting conversation because the ceiling for Restrepo feels higher than any of the guys he is competing with for one of the final roster spots. Like if Xavier Restrepo hits, and if he ends up becoming what you think he can be, a friend to Cam Ward underneath as a gadget slot receiver, get open, third down, tough yardage, red zone threat, I'm just really enamored with the potential there. And I understand that today, again, you don't make the roster today. We've still got weeks and 3 preseason games to decide all of these things. Oftentimes, these things take care of themselves. Right. But James Prochet may be a better fit for this roster today, or even by the end of camp. You could probably make the argument that James Prochet is a more deserving player of a roster spot based off of the production he's had catching the football and the experience he has in the return game. Yeah. But I don't know. Am I off base here? The potential of what Restrepo could be might be worth going with the player that is less productive today because of what you feel like he could be 2 or 3 years down the road. With respect to what James Prochet is, he is mainly a returner who is not going to contribute as much at the wide receiver position.
No,
do you agree?
I 100% agree with you on that one because I'm looking at our YouTube chat so you can check us out on there. And Sally said Restrepo replaces Kenzie on the practice squad. No other team wanted a 4'8" wide receiver.
I don't think that's true.
Here's the thing. Nobody wanted a 5'11" guard. But looking at some of the highlights I've seen about Willie Lampkin with the Rams, he's gonna, if he doesn't make that team, find himself on another squad. The issue that you have in saying that is, to your point, Will, it comes down to, can you make plays? I would love to know what, respectfully, Wes, if you're in Nashville, listen to us, Wes Welker's 40. I never looked at Wes Welker as a 4'4" guy, as a 4'5" guy. And maybe I'm off base. But, Will, you know what he was? Very quarterback friendly, smart, available, and was clutch. That's my point of it all right there. And the same way I feel about teams looking at the guard out of North Carolina, Willie Lampkin. The size and the measurables go out the window when you show you can compete. And Restrepo, to your point, Will, is showing that he can compete better than others.
Wes Welker ran a 4.65.
He did run a 4.6, 4.7.
No. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Wes Welker, a little bit slighter built. 5'8", 195. Restrepo is a little bit bigger and thicker than that. Restrepo is listed at 5'10", 202. So a little bit different builds, and you get a little bit more size within that. But you're right. Yeah. That's what you hope Restrepo can turn into. I said it the other day. I'll say it again, Ramon. it has to do for me with these wide receivers and with Restrepo in general, with the games. This is where preseason games start to separate. When the lights turn on, who makes plays? I mean, unfortunately, last season as a rookie, Jaquan Jackson looked like a really solid returner, looked like someone that was going to take the reins on that return job and hold on to it. And in game settings, he put the ball on the ground. Right. And that is the one thing in punt return and kick return. And once you have the danger of really being hit in special teams, how much has this coaching staff this preseason said, we've got return battles once 11-on-11 contact starts. We really have no idea about the return games so far. I think that is where Prochet has got to be excellent to make this roster, is continue to just not put the football on the ground in return games starting tomorrow night. Just
real quick too, y'all can catch us on YouTube, man. But here's what somebody brought this up. RL, does giving Cam Ward his guy from college matter? No, it does not. It means zero in this equation of the professional ranks is what I want to say. What I'll say is this. I had a terrible combine. I didn't do my pro day. I went undrafted to Pittsburgh. There was a guy drafted in the 3rd round and also a guy drafted in the 7th round that I had to go up against. My measurables were horrendous. They were absolutely bad. And I'm saying this in defense of Restrepo just a little bit, but sometimes if you can play and there's a team that is full of giving opportunity to guys who can simply make plays and play and be consistent and show up every single day, you live life in the NFL. Anquan Bolden was a 4'6", 4'7" guy. I know he had bigger size than what Restrepo has, but my point of it is this. Sometimes your pathway is better in the NFL than it was in college, and the measurables don't matter. You ask any almost vet in the entire world, except for maybe Tyreek Hill, do you want to run the 40 again? Most of them going to tell you no. I break ankles. I catch footballs. I'm a playmaker. I don't know what Restrepo's pathway going to be, Will, in the NFL, but like I know. We've seen this game. If you can play, they're going to find you.
Yeah, we're going to see. I mean, I don't think it matters that he's Cam Ward's guy to the context of do you want Cam Ward's guy to be on the team? But if it means that Cam and Restrepo have such a good connection that they start getting to play together, and that creates production, that creates opportunity. Restrepo starts making plays more because he's already built that relationship with Cam. Well, then, yeah, I think it does play a role. But it's not going to they're not sitting down in a room in the front office saying, we got to keep Cam's buddy. That's not a part of it.
This ain't like this is his twin.
They're sitting down saying, who is going to make Cam Ward the best version of himself? And maybe Restrepo is that. I don't know. There's a lot of evaluation that has to be done. Unfortunately, there are injuries that will happen.
Absolutely.
Because there is a 100% injury rate in this league, and we're going to talk about the Colts game here in about 20 minutes. And there have been a number of season-ending injuries that have happened just this week in the NFL. You obviously pray none of those happen here, but somebody's going to be banged up, and somebody else is going to get an opportunity because of it. Let's go to Joe, who is in Minneapolis, Kansas.
That's new to me.
Was not on my bingo card this morning. What's up, Joe? Good morning.
What up, Joe?
What's going on, guys? How you doing today?
We're great.
Good morning.
First off, I want to say thank you for that visual of 4-star manicotti. That's all I can think about now. And it's, 6:30, 7 o'clock, something like that?
Got a long day. Got a long day in Kansas.
My brain is all confused at this point. So I want to talk about the Titans defense. I know there hasn't been much tape on it because of the offense, but it does seem like they are better than they were last year. It does seem like a significant upgrade. And who's our defensive coordinator again?
Denard Wilson.
Denard Wilson, thank you. What Denard Wilson did with last year's defense, I mean, I just think that this year's defense is going to be amazing. You know what I mean? Just comparatively, But my question is, how many games can the Titans win with just an excellent defense? I mean, I remember years as a Titans fan where all we had was a great defense and a really good running back. You know what I mean? And we were doing great. You know what I mean? So how good can we do with just a good defense? That's my question.
Thank you, Joe. That's a very good question.
Great question.
I think some of it also depends on the other phase of the game, which is special teams. Because last year you had a solid defense, I would say, but special teams gave opponents so many short fields that sometimes it didn't matter.
Right.
I mean, you had the second best pass defense in Titans history last season in terms of yards per game allowed. Part of that was also because you were trailing so much late in games that teams are going to run the football. But in terms of points allowed, you were 30th. In terms of yards allowed, you were second last year as a defense. I think special teams has as much to do with that as the offense in terms of not giving you short fields and Cam Ward not turning the ball over and throwing a pick in his own territory that sets up a team 1st and 10 on the 25.
Two main components to me of this defense. Well, the middle of the field, I feel like it's better at the linebacker group. If those two dudes, to your point, will stay healthy and continue to make the plays we've seen them make, I think that helps a whole lot in the run game. And the other side of it, too, just with the linebackers and the defensive line, the front seven, Joe, to me, in my opinion, is beefier. To your point, Will, about being able to stop the run, press the pocket. If that group can stay healthy and continue the game plan, and to be quite honest with you, I'm very interested to see what Jeff's ability to get off the quarterback and anybody else for that matter. But I don't know if this is going to be a high sack team this year unless Denars feels really good about the blitzes and the stunts that he sends to the guys up front. But I think how big they've gotten this team and the middle of the field at the linebacker position, Joe, I think is a major way for this team to stay in games and be competitive.
Yeah, I think they're a lot better at linebacker than they were a year ago. Yes. I think they're about the same at secondary, and I think they are a little bit worse rushing the passer. So I think they can be about as good as they were on defense last year. Quickly, how far is Minneapolis, Kansas from where we are right now? Let's hear your guesses. Minneapolis, Kansas is a real city.
I'm going to go 3.5 hours.
No. How many miles away is Minneapolis, Kansas? If we drove there now.
I'm going to go 260.
260. Okay. Justin?
Is that far?
How far? No, I'm not going to give you any
Minneapolis, Kansas?
How far is Minneapolis, Kansas? Quickly.
I was going to say 570.
You're both way under. 200 miles, Ramon? How close to Kansas do you think we are?
That's like going to Memphis.
Oh, man.
Kansas? No, it's not.
No.
Missouri is like going to Memphis.
No, 260 miles is like going to
Memphis. Yeah. Right.
Man.
749 miles away if we drove to Minneapolis,
I should have gone
Kansas.
with my initial guess.
10 and a half hours. We could be there by dinner time.
But we're not. I'm not driving that far.
615-737-1045 is our number. Archie Manning making headlines. A very big story for the NFL Draft 2026 and for the future of college football coming up next. Hey, it's Will Bowling for my friends at Lee Company. You hear me talk all the time about how Lee Company is all you need. Local business, over 80 years here in Middle Tennessee. Great folks to work with, a great business to partner with. Well, I want to tell you, if you're thinking about getting into the trades or ready to take your skills to the next level, Lee Company is where real career growth begins. Lee Company is hiring, looking for skilled tradespeople in HVAC, plumbing, electrical, sheet metal, and more. With 80-plus years in business, Lee Company takes care of its people with competitive pay, great benefits, free training, advancement, opportunities, and more. Go online, leecompany.com/careers if you're interested. That's where you can apply today. That's leecompany.com/careers. Involved in our local community and business for more than 80 years, leecompany.com/careers. That's the place to go if you're looking to get into the trades. You can call them 615-567-1000 online at leecompany.com. That's Lee Company, all you need. Well, it's rare in college football nowadays that if a player is the betting favorite for the Heisman Trophy, is a quarterback, and is draft eligible, that we're talking about that player sticking around in college football. Ramona Will, fueled by Scooters Coffee at 104.5 The Zone, wrapping up hour one. It's also rare that we get a guy with the last name Manning on his back.
Oh, yeah.
Playing college football. Archie Manning making headlines, speaking about his grandson, Arch Manning, this week, Ramon Foster, saying in an interview that Arch isn't going to go pro. He tells Texas Monthly after 2025, says he's not going to do that. He'll be at Texas. Says that is not a thing that is going to happen. They are not thinking about a one-and-done run as the starting quarterback at Texas. Do you believe him, Ramon Foster?
As much as he talks to his granddad and as close as he still is to Arch, they did that series together. I think it was Uber, one of those companies that they did. It looked like he's got a real strong relationship with him. And I do think, looking at the way Cooper's wired, I mean, Peyton and Eli both spent multiple years in college. I know it's the old days and stuff, but I don't think there's a rush for Arch. I do believe what he's saying right now. I don't think there's much, to be quite honest with you, that will hurt Arch by going back. Because of the name, because of the pedigree, and because I think people will trust them more about his management than they trust themselves, almost, in a sense. And I think you raise the stakes a little bit more, to be honest, Will, with what he can do in college and the teams that he can possibly go to. That maybe, I don't know what's a better team for Archie, who's going to suck this year. But I almost got a feeling that it looks like teams will be definitely bidding on him to see what they can get.
Here's the thing. I think the worst team in football is the Saints. If New Orleans has the number one overall pick and Arch Manning is anywhere close to Heisman Trophy level, I mean, come on, right? Like, I don't totally believe him because I don't think we have all the info of what this season is. Like, Arch Manning is the betting favorite in Vegas to win the Heisman Trophy in 2025. You can't tell me that if Arch Manning wins the Heisman, takes Texas to a college football playoff, that guy's not the number one overall pick going to New Orleans, and they're selling 16 Manning jerseys in black and gold for the next 15 years. I mean, we're talking about Archie's organization maybe being the one that can take him. Like, I'm really curious if there could be a potential reunion there. And again, I mean, if he's not the best prospect, if Lenore Sellers or if Cade Klubnik or Drew Aller or Garrett Nussmeier are the better pro prospect, they're not just going to draft him because of his last name. But also, his last name is Manning, Ramon. Like, I get that it's doubtful it happens, that he goes pro after 2025. But I don't think it's as cut and dry as Archie. Gosh, it's hard to I get those confused. I don't think it's as cut and dry as Archie wants us to believe right now. There's just no way of knowing.
And maybe it's to keep Arch focused.
I mean, maybe he's trying to settle down the hype a little bit because the guy's started 2 games in his career and he's the betting favorite to win the Heisman.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, that would make more sense, but we don't know what he's going to do this year.
But here's the other side of it. The way I feel like Cooper and his wife have gone about raising Arch, though, too, it has been slow and methodical for him. No phones. We saw that right up there. No phones till high school, junior year. I would almost guess no cars. The way he's still on a schedule with having a curfew and everything else. Well, I believe what Archie is saying in this sense right here. And the other point for me is is that too big of a task to have him? I think he'll be a little bit better than what Archie was with the Saints, or you think that's the case, but do they like the coaches there, Will? What about the setup of who they are? They can fire another coach this year, but the way I look at that situation is if they are the worst team, is it the best situation for Archie to be in with the coach that's there right now? And I think that plays a part in it. I also look at the way Arch was recruited. Everybody thought Ole Miss or Tennessee, right? And then he chooses Texas. I think they're going to write their own pathway. And part of that is, yes, you go when you strike when the iron is hot. Mm-hmm. But, Will, he is in the biggest situation. It's him and Jeremiah Smith. They don't have to do anything. I think Jeremiah Smith does because he's a receiver.
He's not even draft eligible. He's a true sophomore.
Wow.
Jeremiah Smith,
I was a freshman.
I know.
Dog.
I was playing a game the other day of how many teams would Jeremiah Smith be wide receiver 1 for right now in the NFL? and I got to like half the league.
That's what I was going to say, about half.
Do you want to do this real quick?
Yeah.
We're gonna
I'm
be,
with it.
We're going to be
Screw it.
fast in
I'm
how we
with
do
it.
this.
Okay.
Let's start at the AFC South. Titans?
Yes.
Texans?
Yes.
Really?
I
Over
do
Nico
think so.
Collins?
Over Nico Collins.
Ooh,
Absolutely. In my opinion,
I disagree
yes.
on that one, but okay.
Okay.
Colts?
Yes.
Jags? No.
No.
Broncos?
No.
Chiefs? Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Raiders?
Yes.
Chargers? Lad
Yes.
McCall? Well, yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's still-
Yes.
Falcons?
No.
Panthers? Yes.
Yes.
Saints?
Yes.
Bucks? No.
No.
Cardinals? So that's how many teams is that?
No Cardinals.
We've gone. You did
like
the
that's
whole. You did 3 out of the AFC South. You did 2 of the AFC West. I think.
Yo.
I think we've got 7 so far. Cardinals, Marvin Harrison Jr.
No.
Rams, Devontae Adams.
Yes.
Okay, that's 8. 49ers
Yes.
over Ayuk.
Yeah, you can't stay healthy.
Ooh,
Ayuk cannot stay
all right,
healthy.
Fair enough. Seahawks,
Yes.
Vikings, Vikings, no.
No.
Packers, yes. Lions, no. Bears, DJ Moore. Anyway, I mean, we're already,
always
we've done the exercise as much as it needs to be done. I mean, double-digit teams. Jeremiah Smith for is number 1 today.
as a sophomore.
That's crazy. Anyway, all that to say, we got sidetracked, but all that to say, I really think that it just depends on what happens.
How much of
I
it-
commend Archie trying to settle down the expectations, though, for his grandson, because the expectations are crazy.
I don't think he leaves.
I know one of the biggest parts of the story, Jimmy Haslam has gone on record saying, if you know the Manning family, I would bet that, and I don't know Arch at all, I'd bet he stays in college 2 years. Jimmy Haslam says, I don't even think that's worth discussing.
So bet the Browns under.
Yeah. Well, Colin Cowherd's put it out there that they're going to hire Saban and draft Arch.
Stop. No. The Browns?
As long as Saban doesn't put his hat backwards, Colin will love. 615-737-1045. Anthony Richardson got hurt. What you need to know and what we learned late last night about his injury coming up next.
It is 7:03. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone studios, and happy Friday. I'm Justin Hawkins. Tennessee Titans football returns tomorrow night. The Titans are off for practice today, but tomorrow night they kick off for preseason game number 1 in Tampa Bay against the Buccaneers at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. You can, of course, hear that right here on 104.5 The Zone, courtesy of Titans Radio, with pregame starting at 5:30. Week 1 of the NFL preseason kicked off last night. Indianapolis Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson left the game in the first quarter after suffering a dislocated pinky finger on his throwing hand after taking a sack. Daniel Jones then took over, went 10 for 21 for 144 yards passing, and their 24-16 loss to the Ravens. Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow and wide receiver Jamar Chase already in midseason form on their 2 drives played last night, as Burrow completed 9 of 10 passes for 123 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Chase caught 4 balls for 77 yards and a touchdown in their 34-27 loss to the Eagles. And the Seahawks and Raiders tied 23 apiece in Seattle late last night. In other NFL news, Los Angeles Chargers left tackle Rashawn Slater suffered a ruptured patellar tendon in yesterday's practice. After multiple tests, it was deemed season-ending, as Slater will need surgery to repair his injury. Slater just signed a new 4-year, $113 million extension in late July, but will now miss the entire 2025 season. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into hour number 2. Ramon and Will is fueled by Scooters Coffee on 104.5 The Zone, locally owned Scooters. Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. After the show today, Ramon and I are both scooting to the Sunshine State.
Yeah, we are.
Ramon's on the sideline for Steelers and Jags for the Steelers radio network. Of course, I'll be on the sidelines with Titans Radio for Titans and Bucs. Titans Countdown right here at 5:30 on Titans Radio. 6:30 the kickoff time here in Nashville, Tennessee. Ramon Foster, we made it.
We did.
Titans football back on the Zone tomorrow as a new era both on the airwaves and on the football field.
Yes,
begins.
We get it back, man. And now also, too, I tried last night watching the games. I missed Anthony Richardson's first quarter, but I saw what happened to him in that moment. But it's tough sometimes when you're not invested in the teams that are actually playing. Like, it's not much you can get from watching Geno throw one. Well, I will say Geno Smith, he threw a dot down the sideline. I will say that he looked good and very confident. But aside from that, like the names that you're seeing, the people that are out there, it's not as interesting when you haven't been covering those teams, man. So I'm interested to see what the Titans look like, and of course this weekend with the Steelers and what that team makeup's going to be.
League Company countdown to kickoff tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Of course, our Titans radio coverage beginning at 5:30. And excited for the new sound of Titans radio and of the Zone's coverage of Titans football. Blaine Bishop, Buck Reising, Zach Lyons at 3 o'clock tomorrow. And then Titans Talkback with our good friend Stoney Keeley joining the mix as well. So looking forward to that. Stoney Keeley, Kevin Dyson, and Zach Lyons will have you covered till 11 o'clock to react to whatever we watch tomorrow night in Tampa. Last night, Ramon, we watched Anthony Richardson get hurt. A pinky injury, the diagnosis. Immediately left the game holding his hand after a hit by David Ajabo, unabated to the quarterback, untouched, blindside. He got rocked and knocked out of this game. Unfortunate part of preseason football that injuries are certainly still a part of this, and unfortunately are going to be for the Titans. It's only a matter of time. The protection of that play, Ramon, a lot of people made stories and conversation about how the Colts started Anthony Richardson, but not their starting offensive line. Right. From what I read and heard and understood about that play, though, Anthony Richardson did not adjust his protection correctly or did not get the ball out quickly enough based off of the protection adjustments that he made. What did you see on the play that Richardson got hurt on, and who really is at fault for him taking a hit that big in preseason?
It's on AR-15, Anthony Richardson. There's no other way around that one for me. It's understanding of the offense. And look, you're not protected in these moments, so your senses have to be all the way up. It looked like the offensive line had full slide to the left. You know how you know that? Because the running back went right. He went right into the flats. He was hot right there.
He's wide open, too.
It wasn't the responsibility of the right tackle in that moment right there. He was comfortable and thinking that somebody to the left was going to get open. And because of the full slide check, either he didn't hear it from the offensive line or he made it and forgot about it, screwed him over, because that is as clean of a hit as you can have right there. That wasn't an unnecessary roughness. He hit him dead in the chest, wrapped him up. I think he fell to the side when he hit him on the ground, when he laid him on the ground also. That is a guy not computing the way you need him to in those moments. Remember, we spoke about this a little bit too, like guys that want to be pocket passers that are mostly dual threats. Like, you got to be able to grow your game. And Anthony Richardson, for that one play, and I guarantee you he will understand that protection, his hots, no matter what. If you look at it, the running back was wide open in the flats, man. He also had a tight end to the right side too. That's on Anthony Richardson.
It's one of those situations where when a defense puts 6 or more guys at the line and you've got 5 in your protection, you know that someone is unblocked. Oh. So you have to communicate with your offensive line to understand, okay, who is not accounted for, and if that person does blitz and is unaccounted for, who is hot? Yes. Meaning, who is the quick guy that I have to get it out to as quickly as I can if that guy blitzes. Well, that guy blitzed, and Anthony Richardson didn't get it out hot to the running back who was in the flat and would have been able to run for days.
And I think Anthony Richardson would have got hit regardless. It would have been a jump hit instead of like him getting plastered on the ground the way he did right there. That's the difference in understanding the protection to slides, and word to your point, your outlets are. Most offenses, every play has an outlet. Specifically in the past, you either got somebody you throw it to the ground in the vicinity that they're in, or they're open. And that position right there that they were in, he got tricked, it seemed like, in a very basic defense with a very simple slide protection up front. It was full slide to the left. We would call that Liz quarterback eyes go left and go right in those moments right there. Running back to the right, releases to the flat, and he checks it down. That would have been a great game for him in that moment.
The positive for Indy is that injury is about as minor as they could have possibly hoped for. Reports are they popped the finger back in place afterwards, which to us who are mere mortals that weren't professional football players sounds terrible. But Richardson saying after the game there was just some swelling. It was just sore, nothing crazy. And, I mean, honestly, like, of all the fingers, too, to have dislocated the pinky, I mean, you're fine. He'll be all right.
It's still weird to me, Will. You said for you people to not mere mortals. I don't like that. I never had a finger popped back in place.
And you got some crooked fingers to begin with as well.
I do.
No, you're not a mortal. You were an 11-year NFL veteran. You're kind of superhuman, and I mean that as a total compliment.
I've seen it. He'll be fine, though. He'll probably not play much at all the rest of the preseason to rehab it up so he's not chasing the pain.
PT expert Justin weighing in. What you got for us?
Yeah, so actually I have a funny story on the other side of things. I've popped several fingers back in myself.
Hawk.
And it's actually a very relieving experience because you have a finger that's straight sideways, and to put it back in and making sure that they're like straight ice immediately is actually a very fun and relieving experience.
Why are you smiling?
Because it's
why are you smiling?
There's some things about sports medicine that I absolutely miss, and those are one of them.
Gosh, does blood irk you at all?
No, I love it. I actually witnessed a knee surgery myself. I got to look inside of a knee as it was being repaired.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, Hawk. Bro.
It's Friday. We're acting like
somebody's got to do it. And I'm glad that it is you and not us. But
I will do it 100%.
Hawk is smiling back there, man. I don't think I've heard you smile before, and I hear you smiling about rehab.
I literally got like a chill down my spine thinking about doing that.
I get
popping
a chill.
Finger back and
I just want nothing to do with it. You hear me?
You get that little sound back in.
I didn't need the sound. Oh, all right. Anyway.
You sicko. You are a sick individual.
DHB on YouTube says, so Jayhawk likes to break bones. No, he just likes to put bones back in place where they're supposed to.
I don't want to break it.
Hey,
I want to put it back.
Listen, you are a unique human being. You doctors and nurses out there, first responders, we appreciate you.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
That's 100%.
It's a very odd feeling the bone as it's like dislocated.
Okay, we're good.
We go into more detail.
We're good. He said it's an odd feeling. We got a full, I was about to Never mind. I wasn't going to call you
Well,
that.
we will see how quickly Anthony Richardson can get back in there. I mean, it shouldn't be long. I think there's even a chance he plays next week. Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, Hawk, I appreciate that insight, man. But no, we're good.
I think the headline on
can.
Richardson is, for a guy that needs to play football,
Yeah.
it's a critical missed opportunity for live reps.
Yeah.
And you saw why he needs to play football. He made a very big mistake, and it got him knocked out of the game. The guy just hasn't played a lot since high school.
He's doing a lot of catching up.
Needs a lot of reps.
Yeah, he
and
does.
That's another opportunity for him not to get them. And again, I just think Daniel Jones is the guy there.
Do you think this is a real competition with him and Daniel Jones?
I think it
this
is, but I
too.
think it's like, I almost feel the way with this as I do with Joey Aguilar and Jake Merklinger.
Okay.
Like, do I believe Anthony Richardson has a shot? Yes. Do I believe Jake Merklinger has a shot? Sure. But look at who they brought in to be the starting quarterback. They gave Daniel Jones 1 year, $14 million. That ain't backup quarterback.
That ain't, yeah, that's if you do start, then you probably will start for us at some point.
Right.
But the other side of it is if he continues to miss spots like that, though, Anthony Richardson, like this is just a preseason version of this. Can you imagine what the Titans want to try to do to him or Houston?
Anybody.
No. He need this, to your point.
Coming up, there is a scrimmage for Tennessee Vols football tomorrow, a quarterback competition that is heating up, some recruiting nuggets that we'll get, some life lessons, and who knows what else from our good friend Brent Hubbs of VolQuest coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster here, and I'm here to tell you guys about my friends at Jewel Roofing and Exteriors, man, a trusted family-owned Middle Tennessee company serving from Clarksville to Murfreesboro for over 25 years. And when I mean trusted and family-owned, man, it's exactly that. I've met the owners, man. Great family, great principles that they're living by, man. They stand out by building relationships and earning trust through referrals, never through high-pressure tactics or the door knocking or storm chasing. You guys know Middle Tennessee, man, we get storms often, and soon after that, you got somebody knocking at your door, calling you to say, hey, you need a new roof. Well, you hadn't even been up on my roof. No, absolutely not, man. I'm telling you, the guys at Jewel Roofing and Exteriors want you to be treated right and want to do really good business with you. So for a roofer you can count on, call 615-868-9999 or visit jewelroofing.com. That's Jewel Roofing with 2 L's.com. Get ready to buy like a dealer buys at Genesis Diamonds starting this Saturday. Yes, tomorrow. You get insider pricing on all GI certified diamonds, 20% off. That's an extra 20% off Genesis already ridiculously low prices. And this year, all lab-grown diamond rings are included as well. So you can choose a lab-grown or GI certified natural diamond and get 20% instant savings from a half a carat to 20 carats. Every shape, every style, rounds, ovals, radiance, cushions, pear cuts, emeralds, princess cuts, all handcrafted and set to perfection in a gorgeous Genesis setting. This is Genesis' most popular annual event. Smart buyers know the value doesn't ever get any better than this, but hurry. This is a limited time offer and it starts this Saturday morning when the doors open. Genesis Diamonds makes getting the most perfect engagement ring more affordable than ever. Don't be surprised to see other jewelers scoping out these incredible deals also. It's Genesis Diamonds Diamond Extravaganza, an extra 20% off stunning GIA and lab-grown diamond engagement rings starting Saturday only at Genesis Diamonds. See stores for details.
Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone is fueled by Scooter's Coffee. The day before the Titans preseason lid lifter, we shift gears for a couple of minutes to talk a little bit of Tennessee Vols football, along with the Vol Network analyst, Ramon Foster. We are joined this morning by VolQuest on threes and Vol Network's Brent Hubbs. It is LaMarcus Coker days until football time in Tennessee. Good morning, Brent Hubbs. How are you?
I'm doing well, Will Bowling. Good pull with LaMarcus Coker. I was going to go Anthony Sessions Day today because I figured that was one nobody had on their radar screen. And then tomorrow, we're Heath Schuler days away from football time. So it's time to go, man.
It sure is. I love it. Is real quick on LaMarcus Coker, is he one of the all-time what could have been players in Tennessee football history with how talented that guy was?
Yeah, without question. Without question. He just did not have the maturity that he needed to have off the field. Coach Fulmer and that staff gave him as many chances as the university and everybody would allow him to have. And, I mean, in a day and age where we're seeing, the smaller back be such an important part of football, you look at him and his speed and what he could do and what he could have done in space. It's really, really unfortunate because he is, injuries didn't derail him. The only thing that derailed LaMarcus Coker was LaMarcus Coker, which those are the saddest stories in the world because good guy. He could not handle. He just couldn't handle it, and it's really unfortunate.
He didn't need to come to Tennessee. He should have gone to USC, I think, like he was wanting to, I think, at the time.
Is some guys better to stay around home? Some guys better to get away, maybe?
Yeah.
One of those situations?
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
You got Ron Slake on this morning, though, Hubbs. He said, my guy,
that?
Ant Sessions. He said, a damn D-O-G is what he said, a dog.
Ant Sessions was a late find junior college player that I was a big safety that they turned into a linebacker, and he's actually coaching football now, I think, in the state of Georgia. Nice. And a good dude, man. He was kind of one of those. Everybody went, who? And then you got him to town, and you're like, man, if he could ever completely figure it out, he could do it. He was undersized as a linebacker, but he could flat out run. And that's exactly what John Chavis was looking for back then. Ant Sessions from down in Georgia, baby.
If you get the dog tag from Ron Slay, then you are one. There is no doubt about that.
Now, here's the thing. We're not real sure why Slay tagged him a dog. Because that could mean athletic ability. That could mean something that happened, on a Friday night somewhere. We're not sure exactly why Slay
all is true.
Either way, it was earned.
We got to be really careful about what we're propping up and what we're celebrating, right?
That's true.
Fantastic.
You know him, Hubbs.
I love it.
I know both of them.
Brent Hubbs with us. Brent, a big weekend for Tennessee football, a scrimmage coming up. How far will this go to helping Josh Heupel and the staff determine who the starting quarterback is, and how have the three in the arena, so to speak, fared so far? And Joey Aguilar, Jake Merklinger, and George McIntyre.
I think all three have done well. I mean, I think they've been solid. Nobody has run away with the job. I think George has probably tried to and is trying to put himself into the mix more than some people thought. Is he heavy enough? Is he physical and strong enough? And all those things. I mean, I think managing the game, George has done really well. And I think the other two have done well. I think Saturday or tomorrow goes a long way because now you're talking about managing the operation of a game, play clock, fast pace, the tempo, getting everybody lined up. Because remember this, I mean, and I'll give Coach Heupel credit for this because every coordinator turns it into a football game. All these coaches that are like, all right, scrimmage one, these are the parameters for the defense. These are the parameters for the offense. About 5 plays into it, that all goes out the window. Yeah. So Coach Heupel doesn't even have parameters in it. They put the ball down and they go. Now, they'll work situations, but Tim Banks can show every look he wants to play.
I think we may have lost Brent there.
Yeah, we did.
Brent, I think we got a little bit of bad connection with you. Let's see if you got us back now?
Are you there, guys?
Oh, we got you. Yeah, we got you now.
Sorry, parking garage at the University of Tennessee for practice this morning. Let me get to this corner.
All good.
And what I was saying was Tim Banks is allowed to do whatever he wants to do. And because of that, it's a great litmus test for the quarterbacks and being able to manage the game. How do you adjust to the looks? How do you handle all the things that's going to get thrown at you that you really don't see in the structure of practice? Even though they go 11 on 11, this is different, and there's no coach back behind you to help you. And what that looks like and how those guys manage the game, I think will go a long way in creating some separation in the quarterback battle.
One thing that helps Brent Hubbs is this, having availability of weapons, man. Where are these guys at the wide receivers with injuries? And I see you brought up some of the young fellas, man, like Travis Smith and Reising Jackson, too. How have they fared so far, Hubbs?
Well, I think they've done well for freshmen. Remember this, I mean, the installs happen so frequently now because of what coaches can do in the summertime. I mean, those guys who enrolled in midterm got all the installs in February, got to go through the installs again in spring practice. Then they did summer installs, basically late June through July, and now they've reinstalled it in August. So you've got it 4 times, essentially, since you've been here. So nobody's head is really swimming like they're lost on what to do and what not to do and all those types of things that you would have done as a typical freshman. Because A, they're midterm enrollees, and B, how they install it here. So I think those guys have played pretty fast, Ramon. Mm-hmm. They've made some plays, which I think has helped them get some confidence. And the bigger thing is, because of the injuries, they're getting more snaps than they could ever imagine themselves getting. And that's given them a chance just to gain confidence and to get more comfortable with each quarterback. So they'll get a huge opportunity on Saturday. Mike Matthews will be limited. We'll see how much he does and what he does. I do not expect Staley to scrimmage. I don't expect Brazel to go. I do think there's a chance they get a couple of those guys back next week and maybe start to get in the right direction towards kickoff against Syracuse. But it'll be light at the receiver position in this scrimmage, but it's going to be a great opportunity for Dotson, for Amari Jefferson, for those guys, Travis Smith and Reising Jackson, a huge opportunity for those guys.
Hubbs, when you look at this scrimmage, too, you mentioned it's just an open book the way Heupel and his staff are able to do this. Well, there's competition amongst the interior offensive line specifically, man, but they got one of the biggest tests ever in having Rodney Garner on that coaching staff. How do you see this faring out, man, with how that defensive line is going to attack this group? What can be taken from this scrimmage as it pertains to those guys in competition to win that right guard, left guard, and honestly, Sam Pendleton maybe at center? How do you see this?
Well, I think it starts at center, and it starts with just, executing the offense, because the center does so much to, set the pace of the offense, set the ball, get everybody lined up. They ask the center to do a lot. Sam Pendleton is still learning how to do that. So this is a big scrimmage and a big test for him to really execute that at a high level. I do think when you start talking about who their best 5 is, Pendleton at center would make a ton of sense. But he's got to go win it. He's got to go earn it. So we'll see. What we know about Rodney Garner's group is they're going to play fast. They're going to play vertical. They're going to get downhill on you. And nobody is in bubble wrap. So anybody who's in the 12 deep of Rodney Garner's group is going to play a lot of snaps. So Bryson Easton, you don't get the day off because you're established, or Jackson Moy, you don't get the day off. I mean, James Pierce was a first-round draft, took more scrimmage snaps than anybody on defense did last year because that's the Rodney Garner way. And all those guys have got to go play, and those veteran guys will certainly be pushing and testing Sam Pendleton, David Sanders, Jesse Perry, and go from there. It feels, Ramon, like in the perfect world, if Pendleton can handle center, I think they like Pendleton at center, Jesse Perry at right guard, David Sanders at right tackle, with Wendell Moy at left guard, and then Lance Hurd at left tackle. Now, I don't know that that's where they get to week 1, but I think that's when you talk about talented, best 5, I think that's kind of the feeling some people have in the program right now.
Brent Hubbs of VolQuest on 3, our guest. Brent, I enjoyed the story about Jesse Perry this week, and feels kind of like a throwback story, right? Of a guy that was developed from a Middle Tennessee Christian system here that ran the football as much as it did. He's learned how to pass protect. He's changed his body. I know we've spoken about him a lot with you this offseason as someone that has really raised their stock as much as anyone on this roster. But it feels to me, Brent, like he is kind of a dying breed in college athletics, right? Someone who can reinvent themselves and wait their turn and take advantage, and someone that could make this offensive line, or at least a part of this offensive line, be better than it was last year.
Yeah, I mean, long arms. He's got all the frame and all the tools that you want. It's a great camp evaluation. You look at him and you say, well, he's not polished with the kick step and all the things at pass pro, because they did it some. It's not like he never threw the ball or he never worked on it in high school. But you're just evaluating him on athletic ability, and that athletic ability showed up in camp, and Tennessee jumped on that when some other schools around the SEC, weren't real interested in it and didn't know him very well. And he's put on 40 pounds since he's been here, and he's just physical. He's a man. I mean, he's just turned himself into just a really good football player, and I think he's driven to be good. I think he wants to be great. I think that he's smart and understands the offense very well. And he's a guy who, playing at Tennessee means the world to him. And in a day and age where we don't see that often, yeah, he's a bit of a throwback. But, man, I tell you what, the defensive linemen, you have to talk to them. Who's good for you to go against? Who gives you a great test every snap? They'll tell you it's him. Rodney Garner praises him. The offensive line coach praises him. His offensive line teammates praise him. There's a ton of respect for him in this program for a guy who's played as little as he's played. But I have a feeling he's going to play a lot this fall for Tennessee.
Brent, it's amazing some of the things Rodney Garner is saying about Dominic Bailey, Tyree Weathersby, some of these defensive linemen. When Tennessee has been at its best, as you know, they reload, especially up front on the defensive line. How optimistic are you in that group, maybe meeting last year's level or at least getting close to it with some new faces? And how significant was some of that praise from Rodney Garner this week as he talks about some unproven but very talented young players getting opportunities this fall?
Well, I think that they have great competition at defensive end, probably better competition at end this year than they had last year. I think the question is, can they get to the quarterback off the edge with the Leo position? Joshua Joseph, Caleb Herring, and the group that Coach Chop is coaching. But, I think when you look at where they are, they're established with 3 guys in the defensive interior, and they feel comfortable with 3 or 4 guys at the defensive end position. And we talk about Jesse Perry being a good story and some other guys being a good story on this team. There may not be a better story on this team than Dominic Bailey. And I say that because Rodney Garner was ready to cut Dominic Bailey's freshman year. He just didn't see it. And Dominic Bailey has gone out and made himself a football player to the point Rodney Garner called him the MVP, the early camp MVP, which is a crazy statement to make. But he's a guy who has just gone to work every day. He's so self-driven. He's learned what Rodney Garner's looking for. He's tailored his game to it. He's put his body in a position to be a good player there. And then I think if he could stay healthy, Weathersby is the surprise or the unknown out of this deal that we kind of forgot about. He made a bunch of noise his first few days on campus. Then he had the hip and basically was gone for almost 2 seasons. Now he's back. I think he's performing very well in camp. There's some youth on this defensive line that's going to show up that's talented. It's going to show up in morsels and kind of build. And I think Weathersby will play week 1. I think he'll build more and more as the season goes along. I think Jordan Ross is in that category. And I'm going to tell you right now, Marion Dye is coming. That's another defensive end in that rotation that Rodney Garner's like, he can take tough coaching. He's got all the skill set of things we're looking for. He did not go through spring practice, so he's playing a little bit of catch-up just from a physical standpoint. But I think Marion Dye is another guy that's coming on pretty good.
Hubbs, what needs to be the conversation coming out of this scrimmage on Saturday? Not that is it the quarterback's been named or one performed way above another? Like, will there be another opportunity about the quarterback competition if Joey Aguilar has a good one? Is kind of what I'm asking here.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wins it on Saturday.
Okay.
I think that's one sample size. My guys at VolQuest make fun of me for using this phrase because it's a Josh Heupel phrase. But I think that Joey's got to continue to stack days. You want a quarterback to do it more than once. I don't think – right, how many times do you see the backup quarterback come in and he makes a play and all of a sudden everybody goes, yeah, this guy's he's a real deal. Well, let's see him do it multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what fall camp's for. They've got another big scrimmage that will happen before the first game. You know, you've got multiple practices where you're going to do 11-on-11 work. So I think you want to see him you want to see a quarterback do it more than once. I think you want to see them do it in multiple settings. And but there could be some separation for sure at the quarterback position this week. I think the centerpiece with Sam Pendleton, I think that's what you want to hear about coming out of this scrimmage is where is that at? How well did he perform? And then I think you're curious to see kind of what they do. Where's Edwin Spillman? How well did he play? Where are they at? Is it Edris Farouk at safety? And then where are they at the corner? Those corners should have a good day with those young wide receivers. Now we'll see if they go out and play, even though Ricky Gibson's probably not going to scrimmage. We'll see what, Colton Hood can do. And then is it Merritt, Redmond? Who's the other corner over there? Great opportunity for them. So there's going to be more young guys in this scrimmage, Ramon, than you probably would like for scrimmage one. But, man, it's going to be a great opportunity for some guys to assert themselves to say, hey, I can help this team this fall. I think that's what you're looking for coming out of the spring. Who's above your line and who's below your line? Some guys can put themselves above the line, I think, because of the scrimmage. Not necessarily be a starter, but I think you can come out of here and go, wow, this guy can help us. Marriott Dye is a great example. You feel good about it. How does he perform? Do you come out going, yeah, okay, that's the guy that's going to be in the rotation for us. We're going to play him. Or is that a guy who's still going to be like, he's got to prove it more and more. Those are the guys who can win in this scrimmage on Saturday.
Brent, has the offseason stuff with Boo Carter kind of quieted the offensive role for him or taken that away? Is that still something you see being a possibility for him playing both sides of the ball?
I think it could be in time. I think it stunted it early on for sure. Now maybe the injuries to the receiver accelerates it back.
Right.
But I think with Boo, the question is just how much can he handle mentally? You obviously he's got to prove himself every day to a lot of people. And part of that is just doing the simple thing, right? Be on time, do all this stuff. I mean, is he really in a position, has he proven himself that he's going to put in a bunch of extra work on the side to really work offense and learn some of that stuff? Or will it just be a very small here and there, we're going to throw you a little bubble screen and that type of thing? And that may be what it ends up being. I think right now, Boo Carter's focus has been about getting on the team, getting back on the team, and then trying to win his defensive teammates and go from there. And I think he's done everything they've asked him to do. But again, just like we talked about who can win in the scrimmage, Boo Carter being back for 3 days doesn't win everything for Boo Carter. He's got to be back and do it the right way for 14, 18, 20 days, not just for 4 days to say, hey, I'm back.
I ain't gonna lie, I had it on my bingo card saying we made it with no Boo question, but that was a good one, Will.
Sorry to break your streak.
We're always going to have a Boo question, and here's the thing. Josh Heupel's going to get Boo questions on Saturday because he's not discussed him since that first day.
Okay.
There you go. VolQuest Brent Hubbs joins us. Of course, you will hear him on the Vol Network, on Vol Network programming as well. Heard here right here on the Zone throughout the week with our good friend Mike from Franklin. We are 22 days away, Brent Hubbs. Thank you as always. Appreciate
hey, Hubbs,
you.
Tell Mike from Franklin the people want Vol calls back, man.
Mike from Franklin just walked across the street to football practice.
Oh, there you go.
He's got a notebook bigger than my notebook covering this football team. That's for sure.
All right, well, no calls then. I'll talk to you later, Hubbs.
Thank you, Brent.
Take care.
All right, Brent Hubbs of VolQuest with us, brought to you by Ascend Federal Credit Union, your financial partner for every stage of life. Great stuff as always.
It was, man. I like messing with Hubbs.
Coming up, bad injury news for a future Titans opponent. We'll get back to NFL headlines coming up next. Friday, and we are acting like it on Ramon and Will, fueled by Scooter's Coffee. Wrapping up the first half of the show. Got more Titans talk on deck for you in hour 3. Buck Reising going to join us. We're going to make him work a little extra this morning.
That's a little bit.
Coming up in a half hour.
We cross-blend a lot at this station, but we ain't even mentioned it today yet.
I'm getting there.
Is it? Okay.
I'm getting to some station news.
We'll wait.
Coming up in just a few minutes. We promised the people NFL news before the break, so we got to give the people what they need.
Thing. Do that.
Chargers Pro Bowl tackle Rashawn Slater will miss the 2025 season with a ruptured patellar tendon suffered in practice on Thursday. He will undergo surgery and be placed on injured reserve. A just really sad story for the LA Chargers, a Titans opponent for 2025, who are now going to have to move our old draft crush and old friend Joe Alt back to left tackle.
That's exactly what I was wondering. I was wondering if they were going to make a decision like that because Rashawn Slater is their left tackle. They paid him
11 days ago. They paid him 4 years, $113 million with 92 guaranteed.
His signing bonus just hit the account, is what I'm telling you. It's within 14 days. Teams usually get it to you beforehand, and I'm sure they're probably biting sticks right now because of the amount that just went in. But that's problematic for them, though, man. I mean, they got to be in a position to find a backup that can keep up the level that Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater had, and that's tough, Will, with how their projections are this year in the AFC West. We spoke about them briefly I think they're in a position to probably challenge the way that team is built under Harbaugh, Kansas City. Now, I know that's far-fetched for a lot of people, but when you play physical football and you run the football and you got bigs up front, I mean, you can do some stuff in the West. That makes that a little bit more complicated for them.
Chargers, a team with Super Bowl aspirations. I mean, heck, the 3/4 of the AFC West does.
Yeah.
Between the Broncos, Chiefs, and Chargers. So Joe Alt will likely move to left tackle. That means Trey Pipkins is expected to play right tackle for the Chargers. Of course, Joe Alt, you know him here in Nashville if you listen to a singular second of draft coverage last spring, the 5th overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft. Pipkins started at right tackle in the 22 and 23 seasons. He was the starting right guard last year. Now the Chargers have signed Eagles standout and former Jets first-round pick Mekhi Becton.
Yeah, they did.
At guard. Now, Becton struggled at tackle in New York, was moved to guard by Jeff Stoutland and the machine that is the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line, and he thrived.
They did.
So they're not going to move him back to tackle because he just now really found a place that he feels comfortable, which is guard. So he is not the guy that will move, but interesting. Certainly a massive blow. I mean, Rashawn Slater is as good as it gets in this league, a top 10 left tackle at least in the NFL, and that will weaken a future Titans opponent significantly in the LA Chargers, who were supposed to have a good week when they added Keenan Allen. They brought him back, spent the first 11 years of his career there, signed a 1-year deal with Chicago, or not 1-year deal, was in Chicago, then was released and brought back to LA. So unfortunate that this is such a prominent part of NFL football and just the sport that we love so much. But as Ramon, you like to say, there is a 100% injury rate in this sport.
Yes, it is. And it sucks that you got to have it at one of those type of positions. I say this respectfully to those guys that play, but like it's much easier to find a wide receiver, a running back, a linebacker than it is to find an offensive tackle, right? Especially somebody that's top 10 at that position like that. Can I give you the dark side of this thing, the morbid side of it, though, Will?
Yep.
If that was a team playing them, I'm saying to myself, well, they just got weaker.
I mean, they did.
I mean,
they definitely did.
Part of your winning and luck is other teams having bad luck.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for a team that's got to find a rusher in the Tennessee Titans, this is a good thing for Tennessee Titans fans.
We spoke earlier about the Colts injury with Anthony Richardson, the dislocated pinky that is not expected to sideline him for hardly any time. Really, the bigger story was it sidelined him last night when he was planned to have the majority of the reps with the ones. A big loss for Justin Wally, the starting corner, rookie corner, that was brought in by the Colts as well this past offseason, tore his ACL and is out for the season, according to Shane Steichen at his postgame press conference. So the Colts have been really bit by the injury bug. Richardson goes down with this. Second-round pick JT Tuimoloau from Ohio State has been dealing with a knee injury. And now Justin Wally, their third-round pick, who was slated to start at corner, tears his ACL and will miss his entire first season in the league. So Indy has caught the injury bug in a significant way.
They have. Also, the bigwigs on Twitter yesterday, man, did the thing again.
What's that?
There was a breaking news report about C.J. Gardner-Johnson tearing his ACL.
Yeah.
And people had to reel back.
Had to walk it back. So actually, there's optimism. It's not an ACL.
Yeah, no, it wasn't an ACL from what they were saying. It's, again, we live in a world where information and news comes quick. And you want to be the first one on the scene. And that kind of bit some of those big name folks on social media yesterday in a bad way. So they are having a little bit of an issue too, Houston. I'm not sure how long C.J. Gardner-Johnson is going to be out, but he's not out for the season, though.
Right. 104.5 The Zone announced yesterday as a finalist for the 2025 Marconi Radio Awards Sports Station of the Year. What an honor this is. And first of all, Ramon, we have so much gratitude for you, our listeners, for the people that have made 104.5 The Zone literally be in the conversation this year for one of the top sports stations in the country. This is an unbelievable honor. It was kind of mind-blowing, Ramon, and we got news of this yesterday, and we are grateful to be considered along with some powerhouse stations around this country and around sports markets that are big ones. So wanted to talk about that a little bit this morning. I know you mentioned it a few minutes ago that we kind of buried the lead. We hadn't talked about it yet this morning. Thank you to you, the listeners, for helping us be in position to be honored or at least just mentioned as finalists for an award like this.
Break this down real quick for the people that don't understand how huge this is.
It's like winning Best Picture at the Oscars. Like, this is a national award for best sports radio station in the United States.
Like the Grammys or an Oscar.
It's like winning best album at the Grammys. Like,
Yes.
it truly a nationally significant award that we're really, really grateful to be considered for.
Exactly, man. Again, I'm with you on this one, man. I could be petty and for the folks, it's like, you guys suck. Nope, I'm not going to do that today. Or I want to go listen to. Nope, I'm not going to do that today. I just want to say thank you to the folks that stick by us, tune into us every single day. We've made changes. We've had new stuff. We've added stuff. The sound has changed, man. And I think I heard Mayor say this yesterday, Brent Daughter on 3HL, like, first time in the city. A sports station, I think, has been nominated for this. This isn't like a participation award or nomination. This is that nomination. So thank you guys, man, again, for tuning in and getting your information from us.
It's pretty amazing, honestly, just being considered for it. We're up for it with stations in Houston, Boston, Philadelphia, and Detroit. And there's some major markets, some major NFL teams, and really, really just grateful. And grateful as well to everyone who has helped make the Zone what it is.
Facts.
There are generations of sports fans. There are also generations of broadcasters who have talked into microphones on the station, who have come before us, who helped lay the foundation of what the Zone is. We are fortunate and thankful to be a part of the lineup and the first time the Zone's ever been up for an award like this. So credit to our staff, to the folks downstairs and upstairs, Allison Warren, Paul Mason, everyone who has put us in the position to be successful and to be considered for this. It is a really, 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 really prestigious honor, and we are hopeful. I don't know. Fingers crossed. Maybe we'll.
Boy, either way, I'm adding this to my resume. Is what I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh, 100%.
Update my LinkedIn real quick.
100%. It's really exciting. Really, really exciting. So good stuff. Shout out to the people.
Shout out to the people.
The listeners that listen to us and that interact with us. You guys are the Zone. It's not just us, not just those that talk into microphones. It's people who call in, people who come up to us at Titans games, at Vols games, people that yell at us from across parking lots. Hey, I love you guys on the radio. Like, you guys are the Zone. It's not us. It is you who make us what we are. So we appreciate all of you so much. Coming up, second half of the show, we got a Titans preseason game to talk about tomorrow. Who's got the most to prove when the stadium lights are turned on in Tampa, Florida on a Saturday night? Preseason lid lifter. Talk about that next.
Two River Ford wants to tell you about zero. That's right. Zero as in zero money down, zero payments for 90 days, and 0% financing for 48 months on most models. Oh, and zero on regularly scheduled maintenance because Two Rivers Ford is throwing in a 2-year complimentary maintenance plan. Yes, y'all know how that goes. Oil changes, tire rotations, all that type of stuff. It's the Zero Summer Sales event happening right now at Two Rivers Ford. And at Two Rivers Ford, the salespeople, I've been there. They don't work on commission, which means there's zero pressure when you're shopping for a vehicle. I promise you, I've walked off the lot before and it was like, all right, see you later. Or, you know what? We'll see you at whenever you're ready. That's how they work, man. At Two Rivers Ford, you'll get zero surprises because they are honest and transparent all the time. They're A-plus members of the Better Business Bureau, and they've been family-owned since 1983. What you see is always what you get at Two Rivers Ford, which is why Two Rivers Ford is the South's most trusted Ford dealer. So get to Two Rivers Ford for the Zero Summer Sales event today because the sales ends September 2nd.
It is 8:02. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Happy Friday. I'm Justin Hawkins. Tennessee Titans football returns tomorrow night. Titans are off for practice today, but tomorrow night they kick off for preseason game number 1 in Tampa Bay against the Buccaneers at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. You can, of course, hear that right here on 104.5 The Zone, courtesy of Titans Radio, with pregame starting at 5:30 and Lee Company countdown to kickoff starts at 3 p.m. Week 1 of the NFL preseason kicked off last night and another 3-game slate tonight. The Detroit Lions in Atlanta taking on the Falcons at 6 p.m. The Cleveland Browns taking on the Carolina Panthers at 6 p.m. on NFL Network, where rookie quarterback Shadir Sanders is getting the start for the Browns. And the Washington Commanders are in Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots, led by Mike Vrabel at 6:30. And Nashville Soccer Club returns to MLS action tomorrow night as they travel to St. Louis to face St. Louis City SC. Nashville sits 3 points behind Philadelphia Union for first place in the Eastern Conference. First kick tomorrow night is at 7:30 p.m. Central Time, and you can tune in to West Bowling and Eddie Carvacho on the 104.5 The Zone app. Pregame starts at 7 p.m. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, into the second half of your Friday morning. Hope it is off to a great start. I got one way you can make it a little bit greater. You take 10 extra minutes, maybe just 5, depending on where you're working. Head over to Scooter's Coffee. Scoot on down on your way to work.
Tell them, Will.
They're locally owned. They're near you, if you're listening to the sounds of our voices this morning. Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Ramon, I am officially giving people permission that Friday calories don't count, and that a cinnamon roll that's warm, that's going to just fall apart when you put your fork in it, it's going to make you happy. It's going to start off your Friday well. Those calories aren't going to count against you.
No, absolutely not.
You're going to thank us afterwards.
It's Friday for a reason. Well, that's
right.
what you're telling them, man. And part of that is acting like it, okay? If you feel like you need a little walk around the airport, around the neighborhood, or just hit the elliptical for a little bit, do that. It's cool. But guess what? Friday calories, Will, and you've been adamant about this.
Yeah, it's 100% right.
You've laid this one out for the people.
100% right. I have.
You have.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you're right, you're right. I tell you if you were wrong on these situations right here, okay?
Buck Reising going to join us from Tampa coming up in 15 minutes. He has Brian Callahan on the show this morning. So you can tune into that for the Buck Reising show today. Unfortunately, the time we are out at practice during the week is right when Callahan and his coaches are in meetings with the way practice worked out this year. So we haven't been able to get him on. We're hopeful to get that before training camp is over. But you can hear him on the Buck Reising show today.
Man, Callie's focus, I feel like, has been a little bit different. I don't know if it's a gray beard thing he got going on, but his intent on how he speaks and talk has just been more pointed, I feel like, this year. And not to say that it wasn't last, but I'm noticing just his demeanor's that's a little bit different publicly, which is a good thing, I think, man. Not to say that this means you're going to go win the Super Bowl, but I feel like last year was a big learning year for Coach Callie, man. I'd love if we'd ever have a behind-the-scenes conversation with him just to see. I'm sure being in those position of head coach with the amount of pressure that you have and the changes that you have to make in the offseason too, I'm sure he's in a different space, I would guess.
I know one big change he's made is taking more of a role in the defense.
Yeah.
Just in terms of one practical way, I think he is coaching this team a little bit differently.
Right.
This time around, I think publicly we are starting to see more of what in the meeting room Brian Callahan is like. Beyond the closed doors.
Yeah.
I think he's been a little bit more adamant and a little more vocal in chewing guys out, for lack of a better term. And I'm not sure that hasn't always been the case behind the scenes. I think behind closed doors, you talk to people, they're like, no, Callie could still get after you a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think you're starting to see that happen more in front of fans, in front of media, and front of people at practice. And, It's not something we saw as much last year, aside from a what the bleep were you thinking for Will Levis coming off the field after one of his picks.
It was so touch and go with him last year. They had to get to learn him, and probably he learned a lot about the personalities of the guys inside that locker room too, man. So it's fun watching this evolution of him. Who was I was talking to recently about Callie? It was brought up like if they really feel like as a unit like him. No, it was Charles Davis, CD, yesterday. And he said it yesterday, and I raised my eyebrows to it. He was just speaking about like this Chad and Mike really like Callie. So seeing this process through, man, is going to be fascinating if they all can keep the band together on this one and win football games.
Who's got the most to prove for you tomorrow night? Which player needs a big preseason opener the most?
Cam.
Really?
Yeah.
Not where I expected you to go.
Cam. I know, and I actually thought you were going to say, well, yeah, on that one. I think Cam has to show it again. When the lights come on, the edginess that he has as a quarterback, if he does just so happens to take a hit, like those types of things. Like I said, I got friends down in Tampa, and they were speaking about like the back and forth that the Tampa Bay Bucs defensive line was having against the offensive line. How does Cam navigate that? Because this is real. We saw a quarterback get smacked last night in the game with Anthony Richardson. How will Cam be when the lights turn on? You know, some people, man, you give them a mic and a light, they're a different human being. So I kind of want to see what that's going to look like for him against a team. Even if they're not playing their starters, there will be good quality out there. Will he do the exact same things he's done in practice in the stadium? I think that's probably the most important, because it also feeds more than anything his national perception of what the Titans are too. That's why it's so big to me.
I'm going to take an easy answer and someone we've already talked about a little bit this morning in the first hour. I think it's Xavier Restrepo. And I think, it's been kind of the theme of the week for me. If he is going to make this team, he's got to be a gamer. His whole football life, Xavier Restrepo, the record-setting receiver for Miami, who named the category, he's probably got the record in it, in Miami history in terms of receptions, receiving yards, touchdowns, you name it. He's got it. And he has kind of been counted out and doubted his whole football life.
I agree.
I think he has got an outside shot to make this roster. I think it's probably an uphill climb, considering he is with the threes right now. But a good preseason performance could mean that Xavier Restrepo rises above the third level of the depth chart to the second level. And I think that could go a long way towards him making this team. He's got to start making steps up that depth chart past Jaquan Jackson, Mason Kinsey, and start really battling with James Prochet. For me, Ramon, that's the last spot right now, is really between James Prochet and Xavier Restrepo in who is the last receiver on this roster. Calvin Ridley, the two rookies, Elekiah Manor and Chimere Dike, Tyler Lockett, Van Jefferson, Bryce Oliver are on this football team. If they're going to keep a seventh wide receiver, I think it's either James Prochet or Xavier Restrepo.
I agree. The Prochet part of it too. Had a good week last week. Mm-hmm. This seems to be doing the exact same thing,
and he looks like the best punt returner this team has.
There's value in that.
100%.
There's a lot of value in that, man. I know Bert feels indifferent about him because of the old Raven days, but what I'm here to tell you is this: guys reinvent themselves and become better pros in those and over time too. With that being the case, you mentioned the seventh wide receiver. There's another guy that's in this conversation that he's not doing much, but he needs a lot, and that's Josh Wiley.
I think he is the other one that needs a big preseason game.
Absolutely.
He was my second pick.
I know the depth chart doesn't mean anything, but I'm here to tell you it means something, okay? To see a guy that's been here now 3 years be third behind David Martin Robinson, hey.
Third behind Gunnar Helm and Chigakonkwo.
I know, but like on the depth chart, it's got Chig, and then it got second, Gunnar Helm and David Martin Robinson. Like a slash. Not a slash, but DMR is underneath Gunnar Helm on the Titans website. And that's where, again, to the point, it don't mean anything, but to players will. Honestly, it does. Because, Coach, what are you saying? I'm not good enough still? Like, did you make a mistake?
DMR, I think Wiley is still the third one.
You think he's still third?
So it goes left to right and then down.
And down again?
So DMR is the fourth Titan. Yeah.
Okay. Well, either way.
Yeah.
He's in that third group, and that to me is, if they're taking away from one group, where is it at then?
Sure.
I saw a listener in our YouTube chat say they kept 5 tight ends last year. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. I do think they still keep 3 tight ends.
Yes, I think they keep 3.
Is Wiley the third?
Right now, I don't think he is, to be quite honest with you.
Tough.
And that's why we play the preseason games.
It is.
That's why we have the competition that we do. So I think Josh Wiley and Xavier Restrepo are the two that need a good preseason opener the most.
Wiley's biggest the big leap that he can take for himself is run after catch. I think he can catch the ball and go down. I think he's good as far as like decent as far as his blocking goes. His ability to catch the eyes of his team, these coaches, has to be the ball in his hand and him getting like a 25-yard gain or something. That's the separator for me with him.
Well, Wiley, too, I mean, he has the Cincinnati record in college for tight ends touchdowns. He had 15 touchdowns in his career at Cincinnati. He was seen at 6'7", Josh Wiley, as a red zone target that you can just throw it up for and he'll go get it. Unfortunately, we haven't seen that through his career so far. I mean, 37 catches for 342 his first 2 years as a pro. He's played in 28 games over his first 2 seasons, but Josh Wiley's got to score some touchdowns.
Yeah, he does.
Is what he's got to do. Like, putting points on the board is the most significant way that he can impact this team and make this roster.
And he's chasing stuff, too. Every time it seems like he gets going, there's a concussion or there's an injury where he's got to come off the field. All of this preseason, he can't be an early to the locker room guy in practice or during the course of these preseason games at all, man, especially whenever they go to Atlanta, Flowery Branch for this joint practice side of it, too. And, yes, I'm going to hype my guy up real quick. He has to be good in one-on-ones versus James Pierce Jr. Like tight ends versus backers has to be something that he excels in. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, James is going to bring it. He's been a menace in Atlanta, too, I've heard.
Brian on YouTube says Restrepo is not making the roster. Prochet's the last guy. I just don't know. I don't have nearly enough information to tell you before we played any preseason games that I know what that receiving room is going to look like.
Yeah.
We did not have Bryce Oliver making this roster at this time last year either.
We did not. Or earlier this spring.
No. Like, someone is probably still going to emerge that we are not talking about. It might be Mason Kinsey. It could be Jaquan Jackson with a couple of big returns. Like, I just think at this point of preseason, you got to have an open mind about a lot of these battles to understand that games really are weighed heavily in determining who's going to make this team and who's not.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't have Xavier Restrepo as a polarizing player. Somebody there will call him Restrep. No, like the friend thing is I think irking people with him and Cam.
Yeah, commenter said the one thing that Restrep no has over everyone, chemistry. I don't know, maybe that's just a typo. I don't know if he actually meant to say that.
No, that was real. That was real. I've seen it a few times this morning. Oh,
I mean, he's fine.
I didn't think it would be this. I thought he was the biggest, just fanfare guy you could have coming in his group other than Cam.
And then we say Mason Kinsey. We get a comment from Tim that says, Mason Kinsey, no! Look, the guy is here for a reason still. He keeps making plays. Anyway.
Tough. Y'all hard on people, man.
We'll go to Tampa next. Buck Reising's thoughts on the wide receiver battle, on yesterday's practice, on everything, on the Titans and Bucs coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Medical House Calls. Good people, that is the website. If you thought about having a doctor come to your house, yes, medicalhousecalls.com is where you need to go to 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So you can get that post-work done or before you go to work, however your day is set up, man. Same day appointments are available. Next day guaranteed, man. You can also text or call them to set up an appointment too at 615-838-2375. That is the number. Call or text. And the process is simple, too. So I just told you, call or text Medical House Call, and a team will assess what you need within minutes. You can book your visit, and after that, a quick chat to schedule when they can come to your house. Medical House Calls bring back the concierge to medicine, man. There's no waiting in germ-filled urgent care rooms, appointments that don't fit your schedule, or uprooting your life, like bringing the kids to the emergency room and scheduling a doctor that you might may not see for like 2-3 weeks. That happens in these types of situations. And they have transparent pricing that is upfront and not confusing. You can also use your HSA and FSA cards just like any other doctor's appointment. I'm here to tell you, they make it easy for you. It is a concierge. The website is medicalhousecalls.com, or call or text the number 615-838-2375, and be sure to tell them that Ramon sent you.
Ramona Willow, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooters Coffee. The 11-year NFL vet, Ramon Foster, myself, Will Bowling, joined from Tampa Bay by our good friend Buck Reising this morning. A practice report from Buck, who has got Brian Callahan on the show this morning as well. What's going on, sir? How are you?
I'm well. Thanks for having me, boys. Appreciate it. Hope everything's good on the home front.
It's good. Thank you for working overtime a little bit with us this morning. I'm sorry your email inbox was just flooded with congratulations to our teammates for being up for a Marconi Award. You, of course, your initial reaction to this yesterday on social media was, how do I stop getting emails about this?
Yeah,
what the heck?
I don't need reply all. I appreciate your congratulations. It's well deserved. We're all excellent. We know this. Well done by all of us. A round of congratulations for all involved. Don't reply all. I'm not checking my emails anyway. But when you force me to have to go through my phone, God love Justin. He's had to call me 3 times just to track me down for this morning, all right? There's other things going on in the world. We don't all need to hear all the congratulations all the time. We know we're good. Thank you very much.
I will say,
you're nothing if not
the
consistent.
checking of emails, I'm looking at one right now, and I'm like, do I open this up? Nope.
No.
I will not.
Nope.
I will not.
You know what? You know whose fault it is?
Just
It's
like
Cumulus's fault. Stop sending me phishing emails. Maybe I'll check my email. Okay? Now Robert and Lucas have to tell me about whatever emails I need to look at because they get harassed on my behalf when I don't check my emails. So you know what? It's Cumulus's fault. No more congratulations. No more phishing emails. On to the next.
This is how we celebrate getting nominated for a Marconi this morning.
Listen, my mind said, I will not be the reason we're compromised, okay? Will not be the reason.
Okay. There you go. Trade secrets about wide receiver 7 battles. We can't have people stealing those if they lure us in. Buck, how was practice yesterday? I know you were on 3HL. You mentioned it was maybe a more competitive Titans team than what you expected. What was your main takeaway yesterday watching them practice against the Bucs?
Oh, just such electricity at these joint training camp practices, and the Bucs put on a great show. And I thought the Titans, they started slow on both sides of the ball, but they really picked it up throughout the course of the day. And I thought it was impressive just to see the reasons or the ways that they were going about these improvements. Where Cam is talking about them, I don't know if you guys have played comments this morning from him yesterday after practice, or if you had a chance to go through the press conference stuff like that. But he's essentially saying the pick he threw to Hassan Reddick in the end of half simulated session that they had about halfway through the practice, where you had both teams on either sideline on one field, which is as competitive, and that's where the fight, of course, broke out throughout the course of that, when you've got that much juice going on, that much testosterone going on. But he threw an interception on the first play of it to Hassan Reddick, and he came back to the huddle. He's like, because they're getting the ball back, obviously. In a real game, there would be a turnover situation, and the opposing team would take over, but he knew that they were going to get the ball back and have another opportunity to try and go down the field, and he comes back unbothered. And the rest of them are kind of, I'm not going to say that they're rattled, but they're used to the cataclysmic effect of what it is that what would happen with the previous quarterback when he threw an interception, which means, oh my God, hang on, how much worse is this going to get? Where he's like, yeah, I'm going to throw a pick. I'm probably going to throw a pick at some point. We're just going to need to respond. Everybody settle in. Let's go out there and do it again, and we'll get it right this time. And that's exactly what they did. That is the best, day-by-day progression type of stuff that you can see from Cam Ward, where he'll make mistakes, he'll correct the mistakes, and he's really trying to get some of these traumatized Titans players from previous regimes out of this death spiral mindset that they've been in for the past couple of years, because that's not who he is. And I love that he comes in without that level of baggage, and I like the way that they competed yesterday. And I know Chris Godwin wasn't out there, or Vita Vea wasn't out there. That's fine. There are going to be players missing in the regular season as well. You go against the competition that you face on any given day, and it's still best on best type of stuff. And for a young rookie quarterback to be in a hostile environment where the fans are loud and the defense is jeering you and they've just made a play, and for him to come back out and respond that way, I thought was excellent. I watched, and I think I mentioned this on 3HL, I watched far more offense yesterday than I did defense.
Understandably so.
When there's, especially when there's only one day,
right?
You try and split your attention as best you can without missing something, and I would rather miss something on defense respectfully than I would on offense. For the purposes of the audience, everybody just generally cares more about Cam. But I thought it sounds like Both sides got a good bit of work yesterday, and I'm looking forward to talking about a little more defense with Brian Callahan this morning when I scamper on over to the team hotel.
Buck, you bring us something real quick, man. I want you to elaborate on if you saw it. You said Cam is trying to change the way this team, specifically the offense, deal with bad stuff, bad scenarios, turnovers, fumbles, all that type of stuff. Who, if you noticed yesterday, was with him? Because it's straining to be the only one dragging folks like, hey, we're fine. But, like, if there's an understanding culturally, like, it's changing, was there anybody else that was just up-tempo like he was, or unfazed or unbothered, man, to help this change kind of speed up a little bit?
Well, most notably, J.C. Latham. J.C. Latham is going to be as big a part of resetting the board for them as an organization as anybody, I think, at least on that offensive side of the ball. And, again, that speaks to the nature of how many young dudes they're leaning on right now to help turn this thing around. Latham is as competitive, has as high of standards as anybody else out on that field, and he has spoken about this both in media settings. I'm sure he's been on with you guys in some form or fashion, and he was on the radio show earlier this week. I guess that would have been, Wednesday or Thursday? Wednesday, before we came down to Tampa Bay. But JC is as spirited about this stuff as anybody because he's not used to what last year was, right? He comes from Alabama. That's a proud program, and national championship each and every year is the standard, much like Vanderbilt, right, Will? With the way that Diego
Don't just single me out. I didn't even play for Tennessee. The other guy in the room did.
You idiot. What is wrong with you? Get Diego's on your show is all I'm asking you. Okay?
Oh, my God. I love him. I love him so much. He delights me.
I hope you come to the repass this fall.
Yeah, well, listen. I may figure out where the Titans are on rivalry week and try to attend that game at Neyland because that's going to be as much fun as I think a college football atmosphere could be in that kind of situation. But my point is, Ramon, J.C. Latham is going to be a huge part of this. Not only is he responsible for protecting Cam Ward, but he is there to galvanize the rest of them, and he leads in a different way than maybe Peter Skoronski does, or maybe Corey Levin, who's doing the best job that he can out there on any given snap until such time as Lloyd Cushenberry's ready. But J.C. Latham is as big a part of the equation as anybody, I think.
Buck Reising with us from Tampa. Who most needs a good preseason opener, Buck? We just got done having this conversation. Ramon said Cam. Simply, I said Restrepo and Wiley both need to rise up the depth chart if they want to feel good about their chances of making this roster. Who, for you, most needs a good night at the office tomorrow night?
Yeah, I would say James Prochet, if for no other reason than to just keep the job. Like he should be on the roster. He's the best version of a punt returner that they have right now, and barring any kind of disastrous situation tomorrow night in Tampa Bay, or I guess Atlanta and then Minnesota at home thereafter, he should be on this team. He is the best and most stable punt returner that they have. I mean, if we're going to throw Josh Wiley in there, who I consider to be as pre-cut on the roster as anybody going right now, then you probably have to put the Jaquan Jacksons of the world in that kind of conversation. I think that somebody like Ali Gay needs to acquit himself well as they look for different kind of depth on the pass rush unit where they're going to be thin. God forbid if anything happened to the top line starters. That is going to be something that matters a great deal for guys like David Benda, linebacker, a UDFA, or Jalen Duncan, who's right now is slotted in a reserve or a second string tackle situation, but there's nothing to guarantee that he needs to keep that spot if he doesn't perform well in the preseason. And I think they have at least somewhat of high hopes for him to be able to nail that down and to give them a little better feeling as far as their swing tackle depth goes. But those are a couple of the names that would come to mind for me. Tomorrow, honest to God, guys, is so much about special teams to me because that's really our first time to see these things in full contact, the way that John Fossil, as they call him, Bones, has been talking about not being able to get done in their training camp practices. And yesterday was just kind of the first taste of that. Saturday will obviously be at a much higher level.
Buck, when you look at a little bit of the clips that came out yesterday, man, you say you watch more offensive stuff. As much as Emeka Egbuka broke down to look like the secondary of the Titans, it seems to me also that Alec Ayumana had a day in route running, man. Is that something you see for this upcoming season? He's going to be front center when it comes down to who helps out Cam Ward in this offense?
God help opposing secondaries if he figures out how to make his movement more efficient, because he's working through a couple of different technique things right now, and that's, again, he's a 4th-round rookie out of Stanford. He's got a lot of high-end ability, but they're just trying to clean up some of the stuff to make him the best version of himself. And if the early indications are to be believed, and there's plenty of lies that training camp tells us each and every year, there's plenty of lies that the preseason tells us as well. So the wise words of Coach Mack are forever in the back of your head. Keep your powder dry. But Alec Iamaner absolutely is going to be a contributor on this football team and has found ways to win. He's incredibly physical too, Ramon. He loves run blocking. He did an interview with Lucas and Bert and me earlier in training camp where Lucas asked him his favorite play from his college career, and he brought up blocking on a 2-point conversion because he got 2 back-to-back pancakes, and he just likes roughing dudes up.
Yeah, Mike Vrabel would have loved him.
Right? I mean, he's born for an exotic smash mouth era of football, but he just so happens to play on this version of the Tennessee Titans roster. And listen, I did see Abuka make some plays against the secondary. I also saw Jarvis Brownlee playing him squarely on his ass. So this is something that there's give and take on any given rep, and especially in those one-on-ones, you all know this, that there's so much more that's skewed towards the offense, especially when you're just going one-on-one with a guy and you don't have safety help, or you're squarely in man as opposed to sitting back in zone and trying to take advantage of what those looks may present as a defense. But yeah, I am generally encouraged by Alec Iamaner, and it's not to say anything, as an indictment of Chimere Dike either. I just think they're different kind of players, and Iamaner is somebody who I think can find or carve out a role for himself sooner rather than later. And if you had the over-under set at 2.5 fights in training camp yesterday, you probably think that you would have hit if you bet the under, because I think there's only about 5 people that saw Alec Iamaner throw 2 punches at a defensive back in a low red zone drill yesterday. That did not get nearly as much coverage as Jarvis Brownlee going at fans in the stands, or Jeff getting tossed to the side by Cody Mauch after the play.
Look, I mean, Jarvis has had fans steal his helmet this week, so maybe it was a Bucs fan wanting to steal his helmet down in Tampa.
It's entirely possible. It's entirely possible.
It's crazy.
With Jarvis Brownlee, is he growing, Buck, with what you've seen? I mean, I know the fight stuff, he all in the crowd and everything. Like, you see him taking that second-year jump with what he's presented so far down there and also here in Nashville?
That's a starting caliber corner. I think he's, and that can mean a variety of different things, because he was a starting corner last year, and you can debate how was he good for just a 5th-round rookie, or was he generally good by league standards? But I think when you look at him, the technique stuff that he's been working on this offseason, the second year, speaking the same language as Denard Wilson in that defense, and also, he brought this up, I think he was on last week with me when Lucas was out, or when Lucas, I think, was filling in with you, Ramon. Yep. He has talked about just how valuable Snead has been to him in the meeting rooms and from a technique standpoint, because just because Snead can't physically do stuff doesn't mean he's not around. He's here in Tampa. He's been in the facility every day. And if you kind of look at the mold that you would love for Jarvis Brownlee to fill out, it would be similar to a 4th-round pick out of La Tech that turned into a 2-time Super Bowl champion with the Kansas City Chiefs, and somebody who has that level of physicality, has similar length that he brings as a part of his game and a part of his physical traits. And that doesn't mean that he's going to be the best version of L'Jarius Sneed that L'Jarius Sneed was in KC, but he can teach him a lot of different things because they have a similar style. They bring similar physicality. And I think Sneed has been helpful that way, even if Titans fans can't directly see the dividends of that.
Buck, well, last one for you. How close can Tyjae Spears get to Tony Pollard's production this season? Maybe I'm overreacting to a couple good weeks of practice for Tyjae. Maybe it's the new system built a little bit more for Cam that I think suits Tyjae's skill set quite well in terms of maybe some RPO stuff and some shotgun runs and things that he excels in. Are you buying stock in Tyjae this year, given he stays healthy, compared to what Tony Pollard still is for this offense?
Yeah, I'm not down on Tyjae. It's just you worry about the concussion thing because the precursor there is health, and that's something that you could say about any football player. But with him, it's very specific because it was a hamstring injury early, and then it was 2 concussions late in the season, and he wears the guardian cap in games now just because he's cognizant of how often, how much more frequently those things can occur once you've had the initial situation for concussions. So I believe, like, I don't think Callahan was blowing smoke up our asses when he was talking about, I think those two were interchangeable last year during training camp. I think they really mean that. And if a better version or a healthier version of Tajay Spears allows for more Tony Pollard in the passing game, which was a huge part of his game in Dallas, I think that pays dividends. And I do think that they're going to try and swap these guys in and out, even though Tony, when he got the bulk of the reps when Tajay was healthy last year, was clearly and obviously the better player.
Right. Buck Reising joining us this morning from Tampa. We appreciate the report. When is Callahan on the show today? When should we be locked in?
As if
we should always be locked in. What am I talking about?
Please, we're not even locked in for 3 hours. I don't have full attention for 3 hours. I'm not going to ask anybody else to. No, we're going to run that at 12:20 today. We're going to have a precursor of Cam talking about how beneficial his one-on-one meetings with Callahan have been at noon, and then that is going to lead us into the Callahan interview at 12:20.
I just want to know, did he connect when he said, I tried to hit one of them D linemen in the red jersey? Was he accurate in that moment, too, Buck?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't like laser one at him, right? He just kind of lobbed it in, lobbed it over the top. He maybe buzzed the tower of a helmet or two out there.
So funny. I just pictured him like Uncle Rico, just throwing a football over those mountains, just throwing it into a pile.
That's he said he had a target. He just wanted a guy in a red jersey, and he got one.
Sound like a soldier to me.
Buck Reising off to talk with Brian Callahan. Thank you, Buck. Good to talk to you.
Appreciate it, Buck.
See you, boys.
All right. There's Buck Reising with us here this morning, 10-1, where you can get him today. There is a breaking story from Vols fall camp, Ramon Foster.
I saw
some good news out of Knoxville that we will react to coming up next.
Prince's Hot Chicken, the original hot chicken. They know a thing or two about hot, so they are bringing you the hottest moments of the week from Ramon and Will. This is a segment I like to call Prince's Hot Mic.
Ramon, what name sounds more fun to you, Calvin Throckmorton or Arlington Hambright?
Throckmorton, it seemed like what two families came together, the Throcks and the Mortons, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
That is a heck of a last name, okay? But I'm a black guy named Ramon, so I ain't got much room this week.
Hot mics and hot chicken, Prince's knows hot. Prince's Hot Chicken, the original hot chicken.
Ramona Will at 104.5 The Zone. Wrap it up. Hour number 3, 615-737-1045. I'm choked up. Talking about Titans football this morning. No. Coming up, Ron Slay at hour 4, as always, at 9:20. I've not seen Slay in person in quite some time.
I know, man.
He's always out here getting more degrees in his knees.
Him more degrees
While we're talking to him.
And
I respect it. I'm not mad at him for it, but I need more Slay in my life.
The reason you want to see him is because he's the bee's knees.
Look at you.
This show is all about dad.
That was great. that was good. I'm proud of you.
That was good right there.
As the arbiter of all things dad jokes, which is crazy because I'm 28 years old. I've really respected that.
You're
I
not a
liked that
pops
lot.
yet. You're not a pops yet.
Far from it, actually.
Oh, man, it was funny. Speaking of dad jokes, real quick before you get your stuff, before you tell the good news, I'm talking to RJ when he was out in California.
Good news,
this
like I'm about
past
to
week.
preach the gospel.
You are about to preach the gospel, man, to the folks that want to hear. But it's funny, man, being around like your teammates and stuff in different places. So RJ FaceTimed me like on Tuesday or something like that. And he was talking to his mom. And then he was like, let me talk to dad real quick. And one of his teammates in the back, oh, you about to talk to Papa Foster? Let me talk to him, man. I was just like,
There's a Steelers fan somewhere out there?
Yeah, I don't know who it was. I know who he was, but he was like, you about to talk to Papa Foster? Let me say what's up, man.
Nice.
I just thought that was cool because when you start talking about the parents, that's when you know you in the mix right there. Like, I can't wait to see my roommate's parents. I still think about Inky Mom right now, man.
I love it.
No,
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I'm playing.
This morning, some good news for Tennessee Vols football as star corner Jermod McCoy
Tell him.
was at practice today. A significant development for the Tennessee defense. Jermod McCoy, a participant at Vols practice for the first time this offseason. If you'll remember, he is coming off of an ACL injury. He was with the other corners during the short portion of practice that was open to the media. He went through coverage drills, but was not permitted to go through the drills with other players, and coaches were not allowed to throw balls at him while he was in coverage. Later, he went on to go through a drill where he would peanut punch the ball out of a coach's arm to force a fumble. Josh Heupel said when they opened up spring practice or fall practice, it's not spring anymore, saying no timetable on him. There are benchmark things he's got to accomplish within our training room to move on to the next phase of it, saying he just handled it really well from the very beginning. Ramon, how significant of a development is this for Josh Heupel in Tennessee?
This is big. He's at the sweet spot of acclimating himself to running on the ground, to having some contact, to being able to see if there's going to be a setback with him. I was looking at it. I've never dealt with an ACL personally myself, but I know Savage has. I want him to somewhat look at this tape too that Austin put out. Also, Austin Price put out. Because I'm trying to see if there's a gait in his run. Like, does he look even? The rehab of what you're doing is trying to make your weak side, his torn side, as strong, as equal as his non-torn side. And sometimes guys have like a gait in their step or the run and stuff like that. It looked very normal to me, but I'm going to take Savage's law on this one whenever he comes in or if he calls into us, if he's seen the video. But it looks good. His rotation, step, look like he was thinking about it. So we'll see what the response is like.
Everything for Jermod McCoy is about being ready for week 3 when you host Georgia.
That's it.
Less about week 1, certainly less about week 2 with respect to the Bucs of East Tennessee State University and former Austin Peay coach Will Healy, who is the head man there now. But everything is about being ready for Georgia. Tennessee needs Jermod McCoy if they want to upset Georgia.
I mean, the day you hear about him being incorporated in practice, I think that's a even bigger step. And Will, to be quite honest, he still may be a week or 2 away. So if he's going through this weekend and hopefully next week you hear about him getting some contact and some drill work from time to time, tackling situations, that would be phenomenal for the Vols and for himself. This guy's got almost every preseason All-American list out there right now, man. And usually for those types of guys, at corner anyway, they usually answer the call at the end of the season.
Yeah, he is a walking first-round pick.
Yeah.
If he stays healthy.
That's so big. Golly, that is so huge for him, man. And even bigger for the Vols, especially if you get a guy, and I know we said earlier, Boo Carter sits and gets that nickel down, and some of those young guys throw themselves into the fire too. This is training camp. I love it.
There was a tweet yesterday that got me really excited for college football, Ramon. This is from, I'm going to butcher the name, so I apologize. Shahan Jararaja?
Jararaja. Sounds right to me.
Something like that. Yeah. The only way to watch college football is have multiple games up and then get a text from your buddy saying, "What is San Diego State doing?" and frantically grabbing the remote to turn it to CBS Sports Network to see a receiver accidentally tackle his own teammate.
Yeah.
22 days, baby.
Ready.
22 days away.
So ready. Absolutely will. College football is just, it hits different. And now, too, with these week 0 matchups, we get them just a little bit early, a little bit sooner, man. And this ACC or these matchups that they have, like blending conferences, is what we're here for.
It's as good of a week 1 as we have had in college football in a long time. I'm telling you, like Baylor-Auburn, that's on a Friday, by the way. 21 days until Baylor-Auburn is in Waco, which, again, Baylor and Auburn are the same school. That's just Alabama Baptist and Texas Baptist. And I can say that because I grew up a Baptist, and I still am. Yeah. So I am one of you, so I'm not judging anyone. But Texas produced Baylor, Alabama produced Auburn. That's the same school with the same people.
No doubt.
And I like a lot of people that went to both. So, again, not a disrespect to either one of them, but that's going to be a fun matchup. Dave Aranda defense against a Hugh Freeze offense. Question marks about Jackson Arnold.
Come on.
Maybe one of the best receiving cores in the country at Auburn, but question marks there, to say the least.
I hear the excitement in your voice, Will, right now.
I love fall camp. I love preseason. I'm ready to dive into the good stuff.
The realness of it.
And then you've got when Tennessee-Syracuse kicks off. So we will be in the building for Tennessee-Syracuse, but so we will not see Ohio State-Texas. But Ohio State-Texas kicks off when Tennessee kicks off.
What a matchup.
LSU-Clemson. See if LSU can win a week 1 game for the first time since the Clinton administration. And you also have got Alabama, Florida State. Yeah. And that's just SEC matchups. There's more than just that. We are back.
Hey.
And yes, I am skipping week 0. The full celebration of college football begins in week 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Our good friend Stoney, though, man. Shout out to Stoney Keeley. 15 days to Stanford, Hawaii.
It's a good appetizer. I'm ready for the main course. I'll be
tuned in. No, screw that, Will. I'm locked in on that one, baby. You may tune out, but I'm in on this one, man. If it's real, it's for me. Last night, I was passively watching the NFL preseason games. I was like, I didn't realize
it's
Cincinnati
great background
was on TV.
Noise.
Yeah.
Great background
Jamar
noise.
Chase broke down a DB last night, though. I did see that, but he's also Jamar Chase for a reason also. But lock me in is what I'm telling you. I told Keisha, too. I was just like, look, next renovation we ever make in the house, I'm doing the big wall TV thing. Like, Savage got one in his man cave. I'm debating, do I want to pull this screen down that I have in my bonus room and do 4 big TVs separately? Because Savage he's killing me right now.
He's got the setup.
He can watch. Let me stop.
And then when basketball season comes around, you can put Slay on those TVs.
He'll be on the Tizoob. Look at him doing TV stuff. Get out of here, man. I'm done bragging about him.
Television's Ron Slay joins us in hour number 4. Plus, what you want to learn about the Tennessee Titans tomorrow night as preseason begins next.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Let's face it, buying a vehicle should be straightforward and stress-free, and that's exactly how Two Rivers Ford has been doing business for decades.
This week, man,
this locally owned dealership has a non-commissioned sales team whose only focus is to find you the right vehicle at the right price without the pressure. So you'll actually have a fun car buying experience. Great prices, easy financing, and a non-commissioned sales team. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
In business for over 35 years and are family owned and operated. The techs, very professional, experienced, and trustworthy. And they're all background checked and drug screened too. And when they're on their way, you'll receive a photo of that tech and a link to track them in real time so you're not waiting around. 100% satisfaction guarantee of happy you'll be or the service is free. And they absolutely mean that, man. To learn more about Hiller or to book with them, visit their website at happyhiller.com.
Maxed out a credit card, struggling with high interest debt? Well, you could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Will Baldy. Get cash out now without touching your low rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto, it is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That is a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours, so use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 five-star Google reviews. Their service, it's off the charts. Call now to start the conversation, 615-499-5780. Online at loanpronto.com, 615-499-5780. Get debt relief now at loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. On approved credit, NMLS consumeraccess.org.
It is 9:01. Good morning, live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Happy Friday. I'm Justin Hawkins. Tennessee Titans football is back tomorrow night. Titans are off today for practice, but tomorrow night they return as kickoff for preseason game number 1 takes place in Tampa Bay against the Buccaneers with kickoff at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. You can, of course, hear that right here on 104.5 The Zone, courtesy of Titans Radio, with pregame starting at 5:30, and Lee Company countdown to kickoff gets us underway at 3 p.m. Week 1 of the NFL preseason kicked off last night, and tonight another 3-game NFL slate. The Detroit Lions in Atlanta taking on the Falcons at 6 p.m. The Cleveland Browns take on the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte at 6 p.m. on NFL Network, where rookie quarterback Shadur Sanders is getting the start for the Cleveland Browns. And the Washington Commanders, they're in Foxborough to take on the Mike Vrabel-led New England Patriots at 6:30. And some good news this morning out of Tennessee Vols football camp. Star cornerback Jamad McCoy has returned to practice for the first time in over 7 months after he tore his ACL, and he's doing some individual practice drills. A good sign for the Vols as McCoy works through his return-to-play process. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone, fueled by Scooters Coffee, rolling into the fourth and final hour on Marconi Award finalists. 104.5 The Zone, 615-737-1045, the number, 104.5 The Zone TV, how you stream us, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Justin Hawkins, our producer. He is the 11-year NFL veteran. Vol for life, Vol network analyst, Pittsburgh Steelers television preseason analyst, and sideline reporter Ramon Foster.
I ain't even about to say it that time. Well, you good at these intros, man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
What's the biggest thing you want to learn about the Tennessee Titans tomorrow in Tampa Bay?
I'm with Buck, the special teams component of it. I think plays a huge part of it. And the additions that they made, do they look like they even helped improve the Tennessee Titans? I mean, and also moving JC to right tackle. I mean, Dan Moore signing, does that mean anything? Draymond Jones, how many reps are you going to have? What will it look like against some backups that Todd Bowles said that they were going to play? Can this defense dominate the second team offense? I think is crucial. And there's so many storylines this year for the Tennessee Titans, though, Will. So it's just, I know you asked me what's the biggest, but those are the ones I think pique my interest the most.
Yeah, I think special teams is a great answer. And I think, Ramon, for me, it is the attention to the positions that can't be as physical in practice as they can be in a preseason game. To me, that is edge rusher. To me, that is offensive line, and it's linebacker. It's really those three.
Yep.
How much can James Williams, Cedric Gray, Otis Reese, Anthony Orji acquit themselves well to play next to Cody Barton when you are taking players to the ground and tackling them? Mm-hmm. It's one thing for James Williams to be in position to make a lot of tackles, for James Williams to be in position to deflect passes and allow them to be intercepted. He's done it to Cam Ward. Yesterday, the Titans defense did that to Baker Mayfield because James Williams got his hand to a pass. But what about when you have got to make an open field stop on a running back, on a wide receiver, on a tight end? That, to me, is where I think preseason eclipses the importance of practice. Training camp practices, joint practices, Ramon, still, I think, are more important than some preseason games, but not for every position, because some positions acquire an extra level of physicality you're just not going to get to test in practice settings.
To your point, the joint practice is like a dry run, like another dress rehearsal. Essentially, it's I know your sister does plays and opera and stuff. It's like the warm up, you know what I'm saying, before the actual show. When the curtains pull up, that's tomorrow night, and those guys got to be on. And I've said this before, but I am very interested to seeing how Cam Ward deals with game day footballs. What is his pathway to getting the ball out of his hand? Does he show some of that quirkiness too? I think that is a huge side of it. You asked me who's my number one guy that had to show up, and I do think it's Cam Ward. I do think it's watching him operate and not necessarily changing the narrative, because I know this fan base cares. I know he doesn't care about what the narrative is surrounding him, but it would be good, Will, to see him in a position where he and Calvin, or he and Alec Ayumena, or Chimere Dike, or Van Jefferson connect down the field, and there's a highlight to be made about the number one overall draft pick. I do think that plays a part. You do know the conversation if he goes out and crap the bed, 2 or 3, two interceptions. Let's just throw that number out there. The question marks pop up. Is it him or is it the Titans? That's why I think it's important for him specifically to perform well tomorrow night also.
I'm with you. I think it is a big first step for Cam Ward. I'm excited to see Cam Ward play in a real Titans jersey.
In a real Titans
On a
jersey.
red non-contact jersey. Yesterday, a Titan blue non-contact jersey.
It's as interesting of storylines in the NFL that the Titans have that I don't think people are speaking a whole lot about. Like as much as they're on this we are. But as much as like the national news outlets are on this Anthony Richardson, Danny Dimes competition, like there is one legitimately here with watching how this team takes another step.
Sure.
So I'll be tuned in. Well, I'll see the replay of it for sure.
Reporting on Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson this morning, positive for Indy. Richardson yesterday leaving the game early against the Baltimore Ravens after a hit from David Ajabo dislocated his pinky. Ian Rappaport of NFL Media reports 20 minutes ago that Richardson, quote, checked out fine and is considered day-to-day. Good news after a night cut short, he says. Potentially an opportunity now for Richardson to get the majority of the reps in the second preseason game. I believe that's against Green Bay for Indy. The plan was for him to get week 1, Daniel Jones to play a little bit, and then week 2 flip it, where Danny Dimes is going to play the majority of it, and then Anthony Richardson gets a little bit more reps. I imagine they'll just swap those two now that Daniel Jones got more opportunities last night with Richardson forced out early due to injury.
That's so problematic, though. And I know it's the pathway that Anthony Richardson has had to this point. We're talking about a top 5 pick right now, splitting time with, can we be honest, a failed, like, former first rounder. And
you say that as someone who is a Daniel Jones appreciator.
Yes, a 100. I'm team Danny Dimes. I believe in what his talent can be. I don't know if this is going to be a Sam Darnold 2.0, you know what I'm saying, pathway for him right now. But I do like what Daniel Jones is. I know a lot of people are very indifferent on him, man, but I do like that. But I'm saying this is your franchise, Anthony Richardson. You were brought into this to bring this franchise up again. And he's in a real competition with Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
If his awareness isn't up right now, Will, it never will be as a starter in this league.
I'm looking forward to Monday because not only will I have takeaways from the sideline from Tampa, you are on the Pittsburgh Steelers television and radio broadcasts this weekend for Steelers and Jags.
Yeah.
You are headed to Jacksonville after the show today. I'm headed to Tampa, and you're going to have takeaways up close and personal from a team the Titans are going to see twice this year.
Absolutely. I am excited to see what Travis Hunter does. That is a very fascinating approach. I mean, I know Jalen Ramsey's over there with the Steelers. Joey Porter Jr. is
a
playing.
Homecoming for Jalen Ramsey. Going back to Jacksonville. I know here is his actual home, but you know what I mean.
But that's where,
his original NFL team.
Absolutely. So it will be fascinating to see how they attack, specifically Joey Porter Jr. attacks Travis Hunter, or if they put Jalen Ramsey on Brian Thomas Jr. Like, this is a real good matchup, man. And the Steelers also have a little bit of controversy. Cam Hayward is looking for a new deal and has been quietly holding in. I can't wait to see him. I was like, oh, man, what are you doing? Come on, man. What are we doing?
Cam Hayward and Chris Boswell also wants a new contract. The lowest paid kicker in the AFC North.
Yeah, and Boz has been clutch, man. So
All-pro kicker.
All-pro kicker.
Chris Boswell.
No doubt. So this is going to be fun. I think it's going to be physical. Both teams have to play. Liam Cohen, to your point, this is his audition. Or his first one, too.
It's a lot of newness there where starters are playing significant amount of minutes.
So even though we're in separate places, the storylines of both these teams are real good.
Tonight, you have Shedeur Sanders making an NFL debut for the Cleveland Browns as well. I'm sure no one will overreact to that. I'm sure First Take won't touch it. On
highest rated viewership, easily.
Yeah, happy Mel Kiper Day to all who's
He's going to return to the airways.
What's that?
He's going to return back to the airways out of his darkness.
He's kind of come out of his bunker after watching day 3 interior offensive lineman in the 2026 NFL draft.
What? Shedeur Sanders is playing. I'm awake.
Yes. That and his everyday pumpkin pie that he has to have, too.
What?
You didn't hear about this?
No.
Huge pumpkin pie
He eats a pumpkin pie every day?
I think he said he does a slice almost every day. I think he said now because of the sugar intake, he's not doing it as much. Yeah, he talked about it.
I believe you
during the draft. Yeah, I know.
Can't be too healthy.
Yeah,
you can't trust anyone who eats pumpkin pie every day.
In the summertime.
And I like pumpkin pie.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Anyone who knows me knows I love pumpkin flavored things.
I don't know if I've ever had pumpkin pie.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm a sweet potato pie guy.
I don't know if I've ever had sweet potato pie.
Guess what we doing this holiday season?
We're gonna have a trade.
You doggone right. Be like the dudes in Vegas switching shirts out after a fight. Yeah, that's us right now. We're
I was
jersey
holding
swapping.
up jerseys, holding up our pies.
Yeah.
I've never made a pie in my life before. Maybe I'll have to try.
Yeah, I've never made a pie either.
Okay, well, we'll
Sounds like
both
another
start
thing
for
you
the
guys
first
are
time.
going to do this.
I've made cakes. I've made a cake before. Cake is
In all
easy.
of our free time, both of us.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. Yeah, I told you, Savage said, piece of pumpkin pie every day.
That's crazy.
And he was talking about how he was going to, what is it, the sugar-free whipped cream instead. A piece of pumpkin pie a day. Can
It's
you
kind of like
imagine?
just having Diet Coke to cut calories.
Yeah.
There's still plenty of other stuff in there. I don't know if going with the diet version's making a big difference. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
If you can't pronounce that chemical, it's probably just as good as the sugar
like
you used to have.
That's an old wives' tale that Diet Coke is actually unhealthier than Coke. Is that real? Is that a thing? Or am I just sprouting misinformation into a microphone?
Bro, what is real? Like, legitimately.
That's deep. We
Like,
can spend the rest of the show on
I
that.
know people that have smoked cigarettes every day of their life, and they're 89 years old. What are we doing? We're talking about auntie.
And he's our engineer. We go on the road, and his name is Kirby Allen Kirby.
Kirby Allen.
Kirby's not 89.
No,
I think it's
he's
the Pepsis that do it.
But
Pepsi
still,
and cigarette together, there's some carcinogens there that are keeping him alive. Yeah, I don't know.
live your life.
I couldn't do it. I'm glad he can. Let's get Bam in here real quick before we get to Slay on the other side. What's up, Bam?
What up, Bam?
Yo, what up, fam? Y'all good?
We solid, man.
Will, I am bringing you a sweet potato pie tomorrow,
Okay,
bro.
thanks.
Like you can't wait to Thanksgiving for that. You don't know what you're missing, bro. What
I
is
accept.
pumpkin pie?
I accept.
Yeah, please do. And it's going to change your life. Ain't that right, Ramon?
I'm telling you, man, I don't even need the whipped cream for it, man. I promise you, solid as can
Just
get.
straight up
Easy.
sweet potato pie, bro.
I like it.
Yeah, like, bro.
Light
Yes,
work,
yes.
man. Look at Bam on the
Yo.
road already.
Yes, on the road. I'm already prepared to go to Denver. I'm already prepared to go to Vegas. Life is good. We got football, baby. We back. We
Yeah.
are here.
Yes,
We are here.
Let's go, Bam. I'm here for it.
Look, I'm excited, Ramon, but I'm pretty sure at some point in time you still need to keep your therapist hat on because I'm pretty sure at some point in time we will be calling you.
Oh,
ready
yeah.
to
Hey.
Jump off the ledge.
Hey,
So, we're excited right now.
let's enjoy the low stress times of the year, okay?
Absolutely, sir. No, look, I'm actually excited about where Cam is going with this, the learning curve that he's getting. I actually feel like our team is going to actually blow, and I'm actually putting a prediction out. I'm actually almost saying 7 wins.
Bet it.
7 to 8.
Go to your betting app and do it then.
I'll screenshot it to you.
All right, bet.
But before I forget, congratulations to y'all. That's what I really called to tell y'all. Congratulations. Yo, y'all have stood the test of time. 104.5 has stood the test of time. Y'all have stood through adversity. Us true Titans fans, we've been with y'all through thick, thin, ugly, great, you know what I'm saying, off season when stuff ain't really happening, season when stuff is. Like, the true Titans fans that listen to y'all day in, day out, yo, we appreciate y'all. Y'all job ain't easy. Dealing with crazy people like us, dealing with unemotionally, like unstable, emotional fans and stuff like that.
Appreciate that, man.
Mad respect, mad love to y'all, man. I'll catch y'all during the
I'm glad you included
Thank you,
yourself
Bam.
in that, man. That is
Appreciate the
awareness,
call.
Bam.
Listeners like you have made it possible.
They have.
No doubt.
I most definitely appreciate it.
Thank you, Bam. Appreciate the call. Ron Slay coming up next. Ramona Will, 104.5 The Zone. Ramona Will on 104.5 The Zone, fourth and final hour of your Friday morning. I've decided this is my song of the football season.
Mano.
I've been playing this so much this week.
Yeah.
Because I went to the beach with my Auburn friends. This used to be the Auburn going into the fourth quarter song, and they got me hooked on it again. I love this song.
Yeah.
Ron Slay's here on the phones. What's up, Slay? How are you?
Savage.
Well, what's happening, man? I'm just trying to figure out, though. I understand. That's a cool song, great song. That could be played in the 45 segment of this hour. Like, how am I going to have the stage set with Scarface every time, man? With this great catalog that he has, the legendary Face Small, out of H-Town, the founder of Ghetto Boys, and all of a sudden I come on, man, and now I'm all of above. Like, how did we go from that, man? I want to be the Southern legend, man, that runs around.
You know what?
I don't want to be all above.
Slay, I'm going to take the blame for this because I requested this song earlier this morning from Justin, and it was so late in the show that he was like, I'll play it at 9:20 because I want to play Guess Who's Back for Jermon McCoy, who is back in the practice field for Tennessee today. So you can send your complaints to me.
That's a Face Small song. Guess who's back?
Yes, yes, it is.
It's like, oh man, y'all killing me.
Yeah, not killing you like your rehab this morning, though. Okay.
No, guess what's up? I just cranked up, man, and I'm getting to it. I don't even know how much weight this is hanging on my knee, letting it hang. It's more than 7 pounds. So doing the straightening is serious. I hate doing this part. As you hear the timer going off. Because I'm done. But let me give Jayhawk some love, too.
There it is.
What? Yeah. Hey.
There it is.
There we go.
Now Ron Slay can officially join us.
There we go.
Hey.
Now.
Righting his wrongs.
Yeah, let me get my footing in this thing. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Hey, let me give Jayhawk a shout out too, man, because he did say, and I got to agree with him when he was talking about the dislocated fingers, coming out the story with y'all with Anthony Richardson. Like I've done my pinky, my middle finger, the tip of it is still bent, but I dislocated my thumb once, and it didn't pop out. The weird thing, it went in. Oh. Like,
don't like that.
Down.
Like it was a dent?
Dude, savage. It sunk down. Marcus, happy birthday to my guy, man, to Skillway, Marcus.
Shout out, Marcus.
He was over there in Italy with me at the time, so my thumb went into the socket. So, you showing your whole thumb, it was only like half of my thumb showing out of my hand.
Nice.
And I was like, whoa. So I'm trying to pull it out, and it didn't come out. So I leave the game, come into the back, and I'm back there in the locker room with the trainer, and I'm like, hey, man, like, this thing's starting to hurt. The pain is excruciating at this point. So he was like, man, we somehow got to get you to relax. Like, take some deep breaths. And after I took the deep breaths, like, he wiggled it, and finally, it was so deep in there, it looked like, took like 5 or 6 wiggles and about 4 pulls. And finally was able. What I got? I'm sure.
Don't let us know.
And then finally pulled it out. And when he pulled it out, dog, it was so much relief. Like it was nuts. So the funny thing is, man, they brought somebody over.
I'm telling you,
ready to go to the playoffs, the last game of the season. They brought somebody over. My guy Mike Hall played at George Washington at the time, but he showed up. And I'm like, man, who did nigga Mike over for? When I get to practice the next day. I'm like, so I'm doing, addition by subtraction. Like, okay, that's my guy. Mike play same position as me. So, wait a minute, they think I ain't gonna play. I said, no, and it was on my shooting hand. Hey, man, I went in there and told them, I set that practice out. We had one more day and be in the game. I said, nah, man, tape this up. I don't know what y'all think this is. Y'all, man, I'm not going out the last game of the season before the playoffs, and y'all gonna bring somebody else in, and I'm not gonna get paid? Nah, y'all must be crazy. Yeah. Man, they taped that thing up like a little glove. I went out there and went to work. So it was really a paid vacation for Mike come over to Italy because I wasn't coming out no game. So they lost bed on that one.
Hey, by the way, I'm childish, right?
Talk to me.
When you get done with us on this segment, I want you to go back and listen to the description of everything that you just said, okay? It is a major
Just watch
pause.
our faces.
It's wow with everything that you just said. It was in there deep. It took like 4-5 wiggles. And, boy, when he popped it out, there's so much that
This is all Savage right here. See, I always let you have them the funny games that you like to play, you know what I mean? And I ignore them. You know what I mean? I just need the audience to do the exact same and ignore you too. Because that's the problem. They fuel you. They fuel you into acting like this. Into this pettiness and this savageness that you have. So.
No, Slay, this is how we win the Marconi. This is how we win the Marconi Award. It's
well, it sounds like they all need to put this and make us go viral then. Let's get
Hey, you got any pictures, Slay, of that film?
I may. I have to do some searching.
Oh, I got to see it.
No, you do not.
Well, we got to go viral, don't we? We got to show it.
I'm a little too squeamish for all these dislocated bones talks. Let's talk about the Titans, Slay. What do you want to see tomorrow from the Titans? What would be a successful preseason debut for you for the Titans tomorrow night in Tampa?
Man, you know, I'm looking for coming off a joint practice to see this offensive line protect their guy. You know what I'm saying? The success of Cam goes hand in hand. We have Buck on, and I know y'all have Buck on. Y'all have Buck on.
We just did as well.
That's right.
Yeah, so his success that he's having and his practice goes hand in hand with the success of the offensive line unit. And talking to Savage yesterday, like, it's a protector mentality. You know what I mean, that you got to have in your guy, especially you knowing the way this will be the first game experience where you know a guy like him likes to extend plays. So how do you protect him? How do you get him in pockets where, you know what I mean, you know he likes to have that launch pad from, like, when he's escaping the pocket. There's a whole bunch that goes with it. So, and I want to see them moving as a unit. I'm all in the old line, man. I want to see them moving as a unit. And can they protect? I wonder, is Vita Veda playing tomorrow?
No.
That's what he's not. Okay. We'll take that as a compliment. Take that and roll on out with it. So, but that's what I want to see, man. I don't want us to walk away from it saying, man, Latham is who we thought he was. Skaronski is that guy. Dan Moore's coming along. I don't want individual performances. I want to see everybody move as a unit and get in and get out healthy. And I think we'll get some good.
Savage, when you look at the way everything went down with this team too, man, when you talk about the back and forth that they had with Tampa, I say to I guess my expectation for this Titans team, specifically the defense, if Todd Bowles is rolling out the twos, they got to make them look like twos, man. What's your mindset on this group in that first auditioning, showing that, look, this is a step better, even if it ain't complete, Savage, than it was last year?
Say that last part one more time.
I said, as it pertains to them looking a step better than they were last year, man. Even if it is against the twos, what's your mindset of them going into this first preseason game?
Man, that's what it is. You want to see growth, and we're not talking about the scoreboard. I think that's the biggest thing.
Right.
The growth doesn't have to be in. The growth doesn't have to be in the score. You winning the game. It can be growth because there's so many other dynamics that go along with it, but. You got to see growth from each spot. You understand that you don't have your guys there. LeJarris Sneed won't be out there. You don't have your anchor in Cushenberry out there. You got so many other guys you're trying to get acclimated. You just brought Quandre Diggs back in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a lot of people that are trying to get acclimated, and you got guys trying to win spots. So you want to see growth in each spot, man, where it's nothing where you're going to say, okay, all right, we walked away to this game, we lost by 20. Was it really a loss, or did you gain something? You know what I'm saying? I think that's the biggest thing. I think when we came into it last year, there was so many vets in. We wanted to be able to see how we were going to jump out fast. A lot of them didn't play, so we were kind of just inching and waiting until we got to regular season game one to kind of see where we were. Now, you know you got a young bunch. You know you're in a rebuild, so this is your first action. This is your first dress rehearsal. How do guys come out there? How do you go about it? Like, what's your routine going to be? So it's a great opportunity to get better for steps, not leaps. We're looking for steps.
Savage, you don't mind, man. I want to go to the Vols real quick, man. And it's a situation.
I never mind you, Savage, even when you petty. I don't mind you at all, my brother.
See, there we go. There we go, right there. Okay.
Y'all like play tennis back and forth with each other. You know, one of you hits it over the net, the other one just, let me just turn it right back to you. Oh, let's just keep this rally going. Oh, here you go, cross court.
If he ain't right, Will, I'm probably gonna try to hit him with the ball out of love.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Out of love, though. With that being said, man, you've lived this life with a torn ACL. Jamar McCoy's back out there today, and if you get an opportunity, man, look at that picture or the video that Austin Price put out of him running. I just want to see what you've seen. If there's a gait gait in his step the way sometimes you naturally have after those ACLs. But how was your acclimation back to the basketball court? Like, he's just not running no contact stuff.
Right.
What do you see the steps for a guy that's dealing with that injury getting back, Savage?
Man, well, first of all, he looks good. Just to have the confidence to get out there and explode out, you know what I mean, do some routine runs. I think that's great. Me personally, when I came out of it, I was, like I said, man, like, I don't say people should do this. I was sneaking back out and playing 5 months out just because I felt great. I was attacking the rehab. I felt good, but I would leave Knoxville, come down to Nashville, and go to Lebanon, and me, Marcus Kenzer, Malcolm Muneer, like, we would all go out there and be playing in the gym just one-on-one.
Wow.
Like, and I'm not even released to be doing it. So my biggest thing was, man, you got to get over the fear of the instinct of movement. See, what they're doing with Jamal McCoy now is all routine movement. Like, it's all catered, like, okay, we're going to backpedal, like, just kind of shadow me. You know I'm going to the right. I'm going to show you I'm going to the right. I'm going to the left. I'm going to show you I'm going to the left. So you just shadow me, and he's doing a good job of that. I think one thing when I'm being picky and picking it out, the left leg, I'm thinking this is left leg. I'm pretty sure it's his left leg because it looks a little smaller. It's a little bit, just a tiny bit of a drag on it. And I know this because I did it. You know what I'm saying? And you don't really realize it until you can see it on camera and somebody's recording. I didn't notice it until I got on the track. And somebody recorded me from behind of what I was doing with my knee when I was running, when I was decelerating, when I was accelerating. In the maximum of my run, I was cool because I was picking my knees up and I was concentrating, high knees, high knees, high knees. But when I decelerate, you could see my left leg powering down while my right was kind of like putting the brakes on, if that makes sense. So I don't see a funny gait in his run. I think his hips are aligned perfectly. I think that's good. That's one of the best things because you don't want to start, leaning or limping, which you don't see. It's just a little, and I'm telling y'all right now, I am being extra picky to this right here. Like, it is a small drag. And if you go back and look at the video, you'll be able to see it. His left leg is just a little bit. Like, he's good. The next question is, instinctively, when guys change directions, he plants in the receiver like he's going on the slant and cuts out. And you bite on the slant. And instinctively, you got to get back out of your break to go cover that out. Like, what's your reaction to that? That's the biggest thing. My biggest thing is when they finally released me June 1st at the 6-month mark. I was able to. I was playing summer league here, and I told Marcus, man, like, dog, don't show me what you're gonna do. Like, if we on the fast break 2-on-1, throw it. Like, just make me go get it. You know what I'm saying? And we were playing summer league, and I'll never forget, we were at the Andrew Jackson Boys and Girls Club in North Nashville, playing in the summer league. We were on the 2-on-1 break, and I thought he was going to bounce it. He threw it up, and I jumped off of my left knee.
Oh.
And I've never been a one-leg jumper. Yeah. But instinctively, I went up, caught it, dunked it, and right then I said, oh, yeah, I'm back. Wow. It ain't even no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So it's going to be something in practice or, when he gets back for a game that it's going to hit him. Hopefully it's before the game, but it's going to hit him and he's going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm back. And he's going to release everything and he's going to be full of go.
Huh. It's good stuff.
That is good stuff.
Slay, I'm going to throw you a lob here. Speaking of guys throwing you dunks and throwing you lobs, I'm going to throw you a lob of a Tennessee basketball question on August the 8th because they just broke for their little break here. They got done with their summer workouts. Great story in the Knoxville News Sentinel about Nate Ament's recruitment, how Rick Barnes kind of closed that deal and how his faith and both their just personalities, how if Rick Barnes was ranking everyone in last year's class, it was Nate Ament, #1 player in the class by a wide margin, what the quote says. You got a lot of reps. You got a lot of folks that say important things to you talking about Tennessee basketball. How excited are you? How many positive updates have you heard about not only Nate, but just about the way that team is coming together right now?
Man, love how it's coming together. And I think the most intriguing thing that you're going to look forward to in this season is you got a guy that has it when you talk about Nate Ament. A guy that can deliver And he's really a two guard. So every other position that you see him playing, like the three, or if Coach Barnes has him to bringing the ball up, playing the one every now and then, like this is an extension of his game, but he's a shooting guard. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, that's crazy to think about. And then when you got the team around him, I think he has protectors. That's the biggest thing for a guy like him being a freshman. I thought Duke did a great job of that last year, even though they had so many freshmen. A lot of them were grown up, and Cooper Flagg had protectors around them. Same thing for Maryland. As you get Gillespie in, you got guys that can protect they meant. And Jalen Carey's a big factor in that. Cade Phillips is, Estrella, as he's coming back. And then the big fella, Felix Power, man, like you got guys right there that's not going to let nothing happen to him. And you got guys that's going to get them open. And he understands that. I think that's the biggest thing. So I expect him, man, coming out the gate to be a problem, just because for the simple fact shooting. It's nothing that you really have to get more physical in necessarily to start. You know what I mean? This is just pure pitch the ball up. It's a 3-on-1 fast break. You pull up for three. That's how deadly he is. Wow. So it's gonna be fun to watch, man. His maturation, especially getting to SEC season.
You had a tweet yesterday or 2 days ago when the schedule release came out. You said not a single break in this thing. This team,
especially to start the schedule too, Slay. It is a gauntlet at Arkansas, the first game, and it's crazy.
Are you keeping? Is your message keep your powder dry on SEC Network and everywhere else where you speak about this squad going into this schedule?
Yeah, I mean, it's just for the simple fact you got veterans around, you got guys that have been there. Especially, I think what people got to understand, Jacoby Gillespie, we haven't seen him in the SEC. Okay. But I've also been hearing about him, man. Like, it's going to be a lot of times you walk away from the game and you're pointing at him saying, that's the best player on the floor, and it's not questionable.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's huge. So, but when you're looking at the schedule, I would say right now, before going into it, I would have them like fourth with what they reloaded with at Kentucky, the way Cal, I would probably put Cal in them first, honestly.
Wow.
Cal, yeah, and then I would put Kentucky. I'm sure I'm missing. And Florida. The way Florida's coming back. Florida would battle for that second spot, but you can go 1, 2, or 3 either way with them. Then I put Tennessee, Auburn, and Alabama kind of battling for that fourth spot, which is crazy. You know what I mean? South Carolina has a guy taking a step. Missouri went and got a guy like, everybody. Mississippi State brings Hubbard back.
Texas.
Miss Chris Beard is, man, you talking about Chris. Now, I talked about Chris Beard in the past. Chris Beard went and got his guys. It ain't all them. We got a lot of scores in it. We got blue-collar guys that's going to come out there with a hard hit, with a polo shirt on, buttoned all the way up, and you know exactly what they doing when they come in the office. 9 to 5. They're not working extra over. They're getting everything done in that time frame. And you got a dark horse in Malik Deal, who can go out there and get a bucket at any given moment, who will be free to roam. So LSU would be the only one that I say maybe a break in the schedule, but then if you go down there and play around with them, they got the Louisiana attitude.
That's
so
right.
Play around with them fools you want to. You'll be swerving left and right like Lil Booster said, trying to get out of there.
Swerve right.
I got my boy.
It's gonna be fun. We're looking forward to it. It'll be here before we know it, too.
We ain't even talked about the ladies. I can't wait to this tip
it's
off.
On, man. I'm telling you, listen, dog. I understand there's so many other conferences in the country, but dog, what we doing in the SEC in basketball, football, baseball, like in the women's game, like it's second to none.
Just means
it's second to none. Dog.
That's right.
Yep.
He is Ron Slay, Television's Ron Slay, 3HL's Ron Slay, part of Marconi Award finalist, 104.5 The Zone, Ron Slay. Good to talk to you as always. I haven't seen you in forever. Well, we gotta you haven't been in what's your timetable on getting back in studio with us?
Man, Nikki said yesterday I got probably today about 7 weeks left.
Okay,
so we'll see. We'll see how they go. Maybe I can mix my that. She got Dr. Rob with her, dog. So Rob, he like the weight room, so we got to be careful with the jumping. So we got to make sure he ain't looking.
I love it. Ron Slay, 3 to 6, 3HL. Thank you, sir.
Peace.
No doubt. Savage, have fun on them sidelines too, dog. I know you're on the Tizoob. I know you're real is all over the Tizoob. All right, dog.
All right, dog.
Got Ramon and I roaming sidelines in Florida this weekend. Other parts of the
Out
state.
here. Don't leave us behind, Savage.
That's right. All right.
Never.
Later.
Peace.
There's Ron Slay with us this morning.
Our guy.
We'll wrap up the show. Final keys for the Titans and some intel from Pete Nakos on a leader in the Tennessee quarterback battle that just came out. Coming up next. Wrapping up the show on your Friday morning, Ramon and Will. And Ramon and I both off to the airport to head to different parts of Florida.
Yeah,
as we get things done. Scooters Coffee, our title sponsor, our great partner here in the program. They're locally owned in Rivergate, Smyrna, Brentwood, White House, or Mount Juliet. Go by and see them today. Let us know Ramon and Will sent you. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Titans and Bucs tomorrow from Tampa Bay. Ramon, what is your biggest key? What's the number one thing you want to see tomorrow quickly here on the way
My
out?
biggest key, taking care of the ball, both sides of it. The guys that's throwing it, the guys that's carrying it. Make sure you can control tempo and control the line of scrimmage with it. We'll take care of the ball. Has to be, especially in preseason.
Yep. Stay healthy and throw the ball to your team, not the other team.
Yeah, buddy. Looking forward to this one. I'm anticipating this more than anything Levis had going on last year. Not to, bring him back up, but that's where I'm at with this one.
Yeah.
This is exciting this time around.
I think the self-inflicted negatives to me are the story of training camp beyond Cam Ward's maturation, because Brian Callahan has spoken at length this offseason to a lot of us about how minimizing the big fatal mistakes was his biggest objective this offseason. He's been very introspective to see, why did we have so many penalties, turnovers, missed assignments, special teams gaffes, you name it. There were big negatives where the Titans beat themselves last year. I don't want to see penalties. I don't want to see big gap fits in things in the run game and special teams. Just take away the big mistakes. And that's a good day at the office to begin preseason.
And to your point, this team isn't at that place to where it can overcome those mistakes, or the history of doing that isn't there just yet. So, I'm with that, Will. You're spot on.
On3.com, Pete Nakos reporting this morning some Tennessee fall training camp intel entering first scrimmage. Of course, you get intel from Brent Hubbs and Austin Price twice a week here on the program. And if you missed our conversation with Brent at 7:20 this morning, you can download that now wherever you download podcasts. Pete Nakos saying a source told On3 Joey Aguilar has been solid and his experience has flashed. Tennessee still has to get through its first scrimmage and see how Aguilar and Merklinger compete. But at this point, Pete Nakos writes that the former UCLA and App State transfer has the edge per sources.
No
surprise.
That's about kind of what you want. Like I said, it's a competition, but who you want to win.
With respect to Pete Nakos, I will always go with Brent Hubbs and Austin Price's info among anything else, because they are there and they are local and they have experience. That's not a slight to Pete. That's more of a tip of the cap to our partners and friends over at VolQuest. And not to say their information is conflicting here at all. Maybe Brent would tell you the same thing, but makes sense at this point. So a ton of nuggets in there. On3.com, and again, On3, the best doing it right now in the college sports space. They are crushing it.
Absolutely, Will. I'm excited to have them join us weekly with the information that we get.
Yeah, from them. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Good stuff. Shout out as well, Easton Freeze, ADCSports.com. There is an exclusive interview with Titans president Burke Nihill. Easton Freeze, the title of this article, Ramon, is Think Paradise Park Meets ESPN Zone. Titans president details new Nissan Stadium fan experience in exclusive interview. Good stuff. I've read through some nuggets of it in the break. It is very well done. There are some exciting things about the new stadium experience and ticket sales and all that from Burke that you will enjoy. A2ZSports.com, where you can read that. And at Easton Freeze on Twitter, doing a great job covering the team. And they will get you some nuggets there. Good
no doubt.
All right, that's our week. Titans play tomorrow. Of course, you'll hear it right here on Titans Radio. Excited to be part of that broadcast for the first time. Excited to get down to Tampa today. Ramon headed to Jacksonville to scout the Jags, maybe poison the cop. No poison happening. No. We are back at it Monday morning on a first reaction Monday of the year, Ramon Foster.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Good people, you know how it goes, man. Call somebody you ain't talked to in a while, man. Apologize to somebody you know you've wrong done or done you wrong. Either way, buy somebody a random drink, have a random conversation, but at all costs, make it back to us on Monday. And you know your Twitter fingers and your mic is always hot.